New York Giants defensive lineup being introduced right now. Last week they introduced the Giant offensive lineup, despite the fact the Giants were kicking off. And just about every one of the Giants is getting a standing ovation. We'll bring you that Giant defensive lineup. First, the front four. At left end, number 80, Henry Reed. At left tackle, number 73, Jim Kanicki. At right tackle, number 76, Roland Lake. And at right end, number 89, Fred Dreyer. The outside linebackers on the strong side, number 58, Jim Files. On the weak side, number 51, John Douglas. And in the middle, that tough rookie from Northeast Louisiana, number 67, Ron Hornsby. In the defensive backfield for the New York Giants. At left cornerback, number 21, Otto Brown. At right cornerback, number 41, Willie Williams. The safeties, the left safety, the tight safety, number 20, Scott Heaton. And the free safety, number 43, from North Texas State, Spider Lockhart. Both teams have been introduced on this perfect day for football at Yankee Stadium. The New York Giants versus the San Diego Chargers. Both teams have their huddles at the sidelines. The Chargers directly in front of us, breaking up. The Giants running back and forth, warming up on this cool day, the coolest day we've had so far. And we're getting ready to hear our national anthem, and that'll be kickoff time for the second half of the 1971 pro football season. A game for Giant fans that has them very anxious. We've mentioned over, we'll be mentioning during the course of the game. After a very sad preseason and an almost equally sad first half of the season, the Giants seemed to come alive against the Minnesota Vikings last week. In a losing cause, as the Giants were leaving the field, the fans, this I get hearsay, but it's been substantiated by Marty and everybody else. I was in the locker room. What I hear is the Giant team, after losing to Minnesota, was leaving the field. Fans stood up and gave them a standing ovation. And the players told me that, too. Did them an awful lot of good. They really were warmed by the reception they got from the fans. And it carried over to the introductions today. So everybody's wondering, have the Giants found themselves? It could be an awfully interesting second half of the season if they have. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
The New Britain High School Band from New Britain, Connecticut, under the direction of Mr. Al Wakeman, and our national anthem.
Football, the New York Giants against the San Diego Chargers. The Giants kicking off to the Chargers, who won the toss. The Giants kicking from the open end of the stadium to the closed end. And to bring you the offensive play-by-play, once again, my pleasure to introduce Marty Glickman.
Thank you, Chip. Good afternoon, everyone, on this golden autumn day. New York Giants huddle up around the 35-yard line. They're wearing their blue jerseys, white pants, blue helmets. And the San Diego Chargers in white uniforms with gold pants, blue and gold trim. They're in white, and they're going back towards the closed end of Yankee Stadium to receive the kickoff. Deep back there are Jerry Levias and Bryant Salter. Levias, one of the most elusive wide receivers in the NFL. And Bryant Salter, a rookie out of the University of Pittsburgh. Salter, a rangy, slender 6'4". Gogolak all set to go now at his own 35. Kicking in towards the closed end, he moves forward, and he boosts that ball high in the air, and that's too deep. The wind holding it up. Taken by Levias at the 15, angles to the right to the 20-yard line. Cuts upfield to the 25, makes the turn, and down at the 27-yard line. Hit down hard at the 27.
Henry Reed putting his shoulder to Jerry Levias. Levias had cut outside, a tackle by the Giant cornerman on the kickoff defense team, Richmond Flowers, but Reed recovering very quickly, just put a shoulder to Levias and knocked him down.
Ball placed down at the 26, where it's first and 10 on the Chargers' 26-yard line. Let's see what Johnny Hadle comes up with here at the start of things. Known for their passing ability, the passing circus of the San Diego Chargers, going to a front formation on the left side. And the first handoff goes to Mike Garrett carrying. He's thrown back of the line of scrimmage, stopped for no gain and loss on the play.
Beautiful job of filling the hole by Ron Hornsby. Came right up the middle. Garrett tried to come, but as the San Diego line tried to trap the Giant tackles and open a hole, Hornsby filled it magnificently and stopped him cold.
Mike Garrett and Leon Burns are the running back. Burns, the rookie from Cal State. Garrett, the 6-year veteran, former Heisman Trophy winner. Johnny Hadle at quarterback. It's 2nd and 11 at the 25-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. Regular pro set, I formation on the backfield. They shift into a split backfield now. Hadle under the center. Takes the snap, goes straight back to pass, sets up now, throws on to the right side, and it's almost intercepted by Jim Files, intended for Mike Garrett coming out of the backfield.
Big pass rush by the Giants, particularly by Dreyer and Kanicki. The Giants in a 4-3 over defense. They've got the linebackers outside the defensive ends, looking for the pass or perhaps the outside running game. Good rush by the two, Dreyer and Kanicki, causing Hadle to throw the ball a little prematurely.
It's 3rd and 11 at the 25-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. Obvious passing situation here. Billy Parks is the split end. He's the rookie from Louisiana, from Los Angeles State, rather. And he flanked out to the right side this time. Flank wide left is Garrison. Now they go on a triple flank out of the left side. One deep back is Garrett. Hadle takes the snap, goes back, setting up now. Steps into the pocket. Plenty of time. He throws deep way downfield of Parks. And it's incomplete off his fingertip at the New York Giants 31-yard line. Billy Parks has split the defense and with half a stride reached forward and just flicked the ball with his fingertip. A penalty marker has been thrown down as the play develops. I see it now, with the pass about 6 inches overthrown.
That time, great protection for Hadle. Really tremendous protection. He had all the time in the world. He stepped in the pocket, waited for Parks to run his pattern. As Marty said, Parks splits the defenders. Vital Lockhart and Otto Brown had about half a step on him. The ball was just slightly overthrown.
Defensive holding is called against the New York Giants. It's an automatic first down. Defensive holding called against the New York Giants. An automatic first down. Ball placed up to the 30-yard line. The last play started at the 25. So it's 1st and 10 now for the San Diego Chargers. The ball on their 30-yard line as a result of defensive holding by the Giants. Now the Chargers go to a regular pro set. The backfield switches into a split backfield. Burns and Garrett. Hadle back to pass, fakes the handoff, throws a screen pass out to the left side to Garrison. He's dancing and dodging back there, selling back towards his own goal line, looking for the block. He's still back of the line of scrimmage, running parallel to the line of scrimmage, and he's finally thrown down for a 4-yard loss at the 26-yard line.
Great pursuit by the Giants. They completely stripped him of his blocking on the left side. Garrison had to cut back to the right side. The Giants kept moving laterally with him. It was finally Otto Brown who brought him down.
It's 2nd and 14 at the 26-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. The New York Giants, as Chip indicated, showing very fine pursuit on that play. It was a screen pass to the left side, and Garrison wound up trying to circle his own right side. It was a 4-yard loss, making it 2nd and 14 on the 26-yard line of the Chargers. Split backfield, slot formation to the left. Hadle calling signals. He wears number 21. Looking over the Giant defense, takes it. He has it to Garrett. A top play over to the left guard. He gets 5, 7, 8 yards. 9, and finally falling forward after a 9-yard gain up to the 34-yard line.
Good trap on Jim Kanicki on the play, and then he broke a tackle by Ron Hornsby. Finally, it was Jim Files and Vital Lockhart coming in to make the stop.
It'll be 3rd and 5 at the 34 of the San Diego Chargers. Make that the 35-yard line of the Chargers where the ball is placed down.
Giants can contain the Chargers. On this next play, the Chargers will be kicking into a pretty good win.
Chargers break the huddle and go to the line of scrimmage. Flank wide out to the left side is Garrison. Over to the right side is Billy Parks. 3rd and 5 at the 35. Signals are being called now by Hadle. Takes the snap, dumps back to pass again. Goes over the middle and is caught by Garrett at the 40. He's got the first down and more to the 45 to midfield, and he's down at midfield. going over the middle, reaching high in the air to pull down the pass, and making the first down and more up to the 49-yard line is where that ball is placed down.
Eaton was blitzing on the play, and he got to Hadel just a fraction of a second too late. Johnny read it and hit Garrett right in the middle there. Ron Hornsby finally brought him down, but Hadel, the cool veteran, saw the blitz coming, picked it up, and hit Garrett in that open spot.
Johnny Hadel is 6'1", 214 pounds, now in his 10th year in the National Football League. Played collegiate ball at Kansas. He's thrown for 11 touchdowns this year, but he's had 13 intercepted. His passing percentage is 53%. Now the Chargers go to the line of scrimmage in a slot formation right. Split backfield, signals called by Hadel. Takes the snap. Hands up to Garrett, trying to swing wide around the left side. He makes the turn of field. He has 5, goes along the far sideline, and he's knocked out of bounds after picking up 8 yards.
Got outside of Willie Williams. Vital Lockhart made the stop, but they pinched in the defensive end and the linebacker on the right side, the weak side. That would be Fred Dreyer and John Douglas. Willie Williams couldn't come up quickly enough, and so it was a substantial gain.
So it's 2nd and 2 at the 42-yard line, the 41-yard line of the New York Giants. As the San Diego Chargers, who started this drive on their own 26-yard line, had that key penalty called against the New York Giants for defensive holding, giving them the first down, and now they've taken advantage of it. They go to a slot formation on the right side. Both wide receivers are right, Garrison and Clark. Under the center is John Hadel calling signals, takes the snap. He has it the front, he's trying to sweep the left side again. He stumbles as he goes forward. He was tripped up as he went forward and drove to the 40 for a 1-yard gain.
That was Fred Dreyer tripping him up, knocking his feet out from under him, and falling on top of Burns, Willie Williams, and Vital Lockhart. We're going to measure on this one. Marty said the key penalty, that defensive holding penalty, gave San Diego a life back on its own 30-yard line. The Giants had held them at their 25, gave the Chargers a life, and Hadel has mixed his plays beautifully to move the Chargers upfield. They have the first down just shy of the Giants' 40-yard line. The Chargers are moving.
Yes, it's 1st and 10 for San Diego on the New York Giants' 40-yard line. Johnny Hadel mixing the plays neatly thus far. The trap plays and the end sweeps to the left side particularly. And the successful completion of the forward pass to Mike Garrett, keying this drive. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. Regular pro set this time. The back shifts into a split backfield. The running back of the tackle. Signals being called by Hadel. He goes straight back. Hands up on a draw play. And whistle sounds stopping the play. That's the only time on the football field when players are called to stop. And that is when whistles sound. And I don't know why illegal procedure is being called against the San Diego Chargers. So it'll be 1st and 15 at the 45-yard line of the New York Giants. The score is 0-0. And the San Diego Chargers have kept the ball now for 4 minutes and 14 seconds. Jeff Queen comes in at fullback now, replacing Leon Burns.
Looked to me, Marty, as though Burns took about 2 steps forward before the ball was snapped. He was trying to get off the mark quickly. He sure did.
Jeff Queen, a 3-year veteran out of Morgan State. Again, they go into a pro set. I formation in the backfield. Shift out of the I into a triple flank out of the right side. 1 deep back. Signals being called. 1st and 15. Hadel rolls out to the right. Goes way back to pass. A screen set up to the left side. And it's caught at the 45 to the 40-yard line. Garrett has it. He sits from behind it down at about the 37, 38-yard line. The play is good for 7-8 yards.
Great pursuit by Freddie Dreyer. Caught him from behind. The play was set up beautifully by Hadel faking. The problem was that Garrett had gotten slightly ahead of his interference. There were 2 men downfield at block for him when Garrett caught the ball, though he was in front of him. Dreyer and Kanicki coming up to make the stop. Dreyer in particular pursuing very well on the play.
It's 2nd and 7 at the 37 of the New York Giants. The score is 0-0. 10 minutes and 10 seconds remain here in the first quarter. The Chargers have had the ball throughout. This drive now has eaten up 5 minutes of the first quarter. Hadel breaks his ball club out of the huddle. White helmets and white jerseys. They go to the line of scrimmage. Garrison flank wide to the right side. Billy Parker split left. The back shifts into a split backfield. Hadel called his signals on 2nd and 7. Goes straight back to pass. Sets up now. Fake short. Throws one deep down to the right side. Incomplete. Intended for Garrison. Overthrown and fully incomplete at the near sideline at the 10-yard line. Hadel hit hard after the pass was thrown.
Tim Kanicki hitting Hadel. Dreyer and Kanicki were rushing on the play. And Garrison was bumped pretty well going downfield. Legally bumped, I might add. The ball was not put in the air, and it just destroyed his pattern. But Otto Brown was did the bumping. That's the same play that cost the Giants Marty last year. I don't know if it was last week. I don't know if it was the same pattern. But that's exactly what Brown was trying to do to Bob Grimm last week. He missed him and fell down, though. This time, he knocked Garrison off stride.
Now it's 3rd and 7 at the 37-yard line of the New York Giants. A key play right here. Throw set in the backfield. Hadel under the center. His back's again shifted into a split backfield. Hadel's head going right and left. He's a very active quarterback. Now he hustles back, setting up the pass. Planted, throws over the middle, and it is caught by Garrison at the 22-yard line. He's pinned immediately and is good enough for the first down. A key 3rd down pass thrown to Gary Garrison to the 22 of the New York Giants.
Eaton was trying to blitz again. That time, Garrison just beat Otto Brown to the inside. He ran a down and out, seemingly a down and out, then curled inside, beat Brown to the inside, and again, Hadel comes through with a key 3rd down completion. That's the second one in this series, and the other first down aided by that penalty.
John Hadel, a very quick quarterback, very fast getting back into the pocket. Lots of activity with him. Now he goes back to pass, fakes the handoff, throws deep down the middle, and it's intercepted by Spider Lockhart. Along the far sideline of the 20, the 25, up to the 30, and not going to bounce at the 35-yard line.
Well, the Spider read it beautifully. He was waiting for that post pattern, just bided his time and picked it off at about the 3-yard line and carried it right back to the Giant 35-yard line where he went out of bounds. He said he was going to read it. He did. There's time out on the field with the score of the New York Giants, nothing. The San Diego Chargers, nothing. More Giant football right after this message.
There are 2 cars built in Sweden, ours and theirs. Ours is the one with front-wheel drive, a standard 4-cylinder fuel-injected overhead cam engine, and exclusive impact-absorbing bumpers. These bumpers let our car crash head-on into a barrier at 5 miles an hour, or rearward at 2.5 miles an hour, without any damage. Tests on 1971 American cars showed that the average cost of repair after the same crashes was about $320. Our car has no repair cost because there's no damage. That's why our car is the only car that qualifies for a 15% reduction in collision insurance rates from Allstate. This means you can save up to $100 a year on insurance premiums. There are a lot of other things that make our car different from their car. So before you buy their car, drive ours, the Saab 99E. We think you'll want to buy our car instead of theirs. The Allstate discount available in most states.
So the New York Giants blunt the San Diego Charger attack with an interception by Spider Lockhart. 1st and 10 for the Giants on their own 35. They line up in an I formation, shifts out of that into a power I formation. Charlie Evans and Ron Johnson running back, stealing up to the right side of Houston. The fake pitch out of handoff goes to Evans. He cuts off inside his right tackle, drives upfield for about 4 yards to the 39-yard line where he's pinned. There's Ron East, number 77, making the tackle. Tom Williams, the defensive left end, was taken out of the play on a good block. East had to come up. Good pursuit by East, the 236-pounder out of Montana State, one of the lighter tackles in the league. It's 2nd and 6 at the 39-yard line of the New York Giants. Charlie Evans and Ron Johnson are the running backs. Rich Houston is the flanker. Fran Tarkenton, of course, is quarterback. Don Herman is starter at wide receiver. They shift into the power I formation with a split left end. Signals are being called by Fran Tarkenton. Peeling off to the left side comes Rich Houston now. The handoff goes to Evans. He drives up the middle, spins forward for about 4 yards more, up to the 43-yard line. Giants testing the middle of the San Diego line. Bob Babbage, the middle linebacker. Andy Rice making a stop, and we see Ron East getting up very slowly. He seems to have hurt his leg. He's going back in the huddle. San Diego Chargers flip-flops their linebackers. Now Rogers, number 53, always plays the strong side linebacker, so he'll line up opposite the tight end. It's 3rd and 2 at the 43-yard line. Herman goes out of the lineup, and Dick Coatside comes in. I believe Coatside is in only because of the short yardage situation. 3rd and 2 at the 43, so 2 tight ends are in there, and the ends are tight as they line up on a power I formation. And the handoff goes to Evans again. He piles off his own left guard, and he goes for the first down over the 45 to about the 46-yard line. He needed 2, and he picked up 3. Followed some fine blocking in there by number 69, Willie Young. Just got right behind Young, went for the first down. Pete Barnes and Steve DeLong making the stop. San Diego backed in very tightly looking for the short yardage situation. Couldn't hold it, though. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line, as Fran Tarkenton has started the series with 3 running plays, and now he has the opportunity with the first down to begin to mix them up if he cares to. No score in the ball game.
6:57 to go here in the first quarter. Regular pro set this time. Targeting hands off to Ron Johnson, swinging wide. He tries to make the turn of field and does for only 1 yard, however, as the defense was there to meet him.
Eddie Rice was pursuing. He had a shot at Ron just about at the line of scrimmage. He cut inside Rice, but Bob Babbage, also in good pursuit with Mel Rogers, made the stop. It's the first time that Ron has carried the ball today, and the Giants in 4 running plays. They still haven't passed. 4 times they've run plays, and all of them have been on the ground.
It's 2nd and 9 at the 47-yard line. The power sweep that time looked as though the San Diego Chargers were well prepared for it, and perhaps 1 or 2 men were keying on Johnson as he started to swing wide. Now the Giants go into a slot formation to the left side. Both wide receivers are left. 2nd and 9 on the 47. Targeting back to pass over the middle quickly. It's caught by Big Pop. Buckley drives downfield inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. It's good for the first down, of course, for the New York Giants. And the Giants are now in San Diego Chargers territory. 1st and 10 on the Chargers 38.
Good quick pop by Fran Tarkenton right into the heart of the San Diego zone. Tucker got behind the linebacker in front of the safety man, made the stop, and the safety man, Jim Hill, made the tackle.
It's 1st and 10 for New York on the 38 of the San Diego Chargers. No score in the ball game midway through this first quarter. The Giants driving towards the closed end of Yankee Stadium. Regular pro set for the Giants. The handle goes to Ron Johnson. He cuts back over his own right guard and drives in inside the 35 to the 34-yard line as he picks up 4 yards more.
That much running room for Ron Johnson, as again, San Diego is keying on him. Andy Rice and Bob Babbage making the stop. Ron East also in on the play. Babbage, the middle linebacker for San Diego, a second-year man, a very, very active ball player.
John Herman has left the ball game again a second time, and Coleman Zeno, the fine rookie, is in to replace him. This is Zeno's first play from scrimmage as a regular season Giant. Coleman Zeno, a rangy, very fast 6'4". It's 2nd and 6 at the 34-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. Giants go into a slot formation to the left side. Tarkenton looking over the defense. He got straight back to pass on 2nd now. Sets up now. Plenty of time back there. Runs out to the right. Still looking downfield. He's scrambling again. Now he throws on the run. Throws to Tucker. And Tucker is pulled down at the 25-yard line. Penalty marker is thrown at the same time.
Thrown in the direction of number 53, Greg Larson of the New York Giants.
Ineligible receiver downfield.
Fran had a lot of running room. It was Larson downfield, Marty. He got too far in front of Fran looking to block for him. I think Fran was just about at the line of scrimmage when he threw the ball. So Larson in front of him was past the line of scrimmage.
So the fine scrambling pass that time completed from Tarkenton to Bob Tucker is nullified. A 15-yard penalty marked off against the New York Giants from the spot of the previous down. Back to the 49-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. And the New York Giants, who were in good field position, certainly good enough for a field goal attempt if necessary, are now back at the 49 of the Chargers. Time has been called on the field. There's time on the field with a score. The Giants nothing, the San Diego Chargers nothing.
The first 2 arrived in 1949. One of them was spotted outside of Atlanta. The other one appeared in New Hampshire. No one knew quite what to make of them. Some people laughed at them. Others viewed them with suspicion. But no one could ignore their curious shape. By 1955, they numbered 43,000. By 1960, they had multiplied to almost 500,000. By 1970, more than 3 million inhabited America. And finally, for 1972, they spawned the most highly developed member of their species, the product of 24 painstaking years of breeding. The 1972 Volkswagen Super Beetle.
Visit your local authorized Volkswagen dealer and find out why there are over 3.5 million Beetles on the American road today. So the New York Giants drive has been blunted by that 15-yard penalty. Ineligible receiver downfield. Fran Tarkenton scrambling, got up to the line of scrimmage. And Greg Larson tried to protect Fran, got in front of him, so he was downfield. And that fine completion of Bob Tucker is nullified. The Giants, who were at least in field goal territory, are now back to midfield, just inside San Diego territory. It's a long time out, too, as the officials were conferring with someone on the sidelines, and now they're still conferring. Coming back. No score on the ball game. 4 minutes and 40 seconds left to play here in the first half. Each team has handled the ball just once. San Diego, the crowd's getting a little impatient now, as one of the officials just now leaving the sideline. They're ready to play. The Giants from the huddle. Marty?
It's 2nd and 21 at the 49 of the San Diego Chargers. Tarkenton strides up to the line of scrimmage, is running back to Ron Johnson and Charlie Evans. Slot formation to the right side. Tarkenton back to pass. Throws over the middle and is caught by Bob Tucker. The same play. He drives down inside of the 36-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. They place it down at the 37. And the play was good for some 12 yards.
Again, right in the seam of the San Diego zone defense. Behind the linebacker, the middle linebacker, and in front of the defensive back.
It's 3rd and 10 at the 37-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. The New York Giants and the Chargers are scoreless thus far. Giants are moving that ball well, however, against the Chargers, both on the ground and through the air. Penalties have hurt them on 2 occasions now, once on defense, once on offense. Again, they go into the slot formation, this time from the left side. It's 3rd and 10 at the Chargers, 37. Targeted back to pass. Throws out to the left side, and it's caught by Colbenzino. He dumps the ball. It's loose, rolling free, and not out of bounds. It's New York ball. The last man in control of the ball was Colbenzino. It was knocked out of bounds, good for the first down at the 23-yard line of the San Diego Chargers, and the Giants now get a break. That ball was rolling around free. Any one of the Chargers could have picked it up, but in their anxiety, it was knocked out of bounds.
Flagged onto the field. Actually, it was Babbage and Hill who had a shot at the ball on about the 25-yard line, but they just knocked it out of bounds. So Zeno was the last one down. Last one had possession, so the Giants keep the ball. Marty?
1st and 10 on the 24-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. The New York Giants now go in a slot formation to the right side. Signals are being called. Markman takes the snap, and he has it to Ron Johnson. It cuts over his own right tackle, spills one tackle, and drives downfield for about 6 yards before he stops. Beautiful sidestep by Ron Johnson as he slipped one tackler and then drove right by another as he picked up 6.
Sidestep to Andy Rice, number 79, flipped by Steve DeLong, number 82, finally brought down by Bob Babbage. Fine running by Ron Johnson.
It's 2nd and 4 at the 18-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. The New York drive began on his 35-yard line after Spider Lockhart intercepted the pass around about his own 3. Now it's 2nd and 4 at the 18 of the Chargers. Giants in possession. The handoff goes to Big Charlie Evans, who bulls over the 15 to about the 14-yard line. Picks up about 3-4 yards on the play.
Again, attacking the middle of the San Diego line, Andy Rice and Ron East, the 2 tackles making the stop. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification.
This is Shannon in the morning, coming your way Monday through Saturday, 5:30 to 10, here on the fresh air sound of Radio 81, WGY Schenectady.
So, with just 2 minutes and 45 seconds left to play in the first quarter, each team has only handled the ball once, both driving beautifully. San Diego drive ended with an interception. The Giants now, though, are inside the San Diego 15-yard line.
Yes, it's 3rd and 1 at the 14-yard line. Power right formation for the Giants. Signals being called. The handoff goes to Evans. He pulls in for the first down. He picked up 2 yards. He needed only 1, and he's down out of the 12, 13-yard line. He went deep enough for the first down.
Fine block thrown by the tight end, Bob Tucker, on that play. He followed Tucker and Johnson. Hill and Babbage making the stop. That plan, Tarkenton has got his ground game working and his passing game working, and the Giants are driving downfield.
Colbenzino, who was out on the last play for Dick Goatside, is back into the lineup now. The wide receivers are Colbenzino and Rich Houston. The tight end is Bob Tucker. The running backs are Charlie Evans and Ron Johnson. And it's 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line of the Chargers. The score is 0-0. Slot formation on the right side. I formation in the backfield. Tarkenton takes it. Penalty marker on the play. Tarkenton running out to the right side, looking downfield, throwing into the end zone. And it's caught for a touchdown, but the penalty marker is down.
No, it's going to be notified, Marty. I think one of the Giants may have been offside.
Now, one of the Giants was in motion before the ball was snapped, actually. Illegal procedure against the Giants. Colbenzino made the catch deep in the end zone. A marvelous catch. Zeno is very unhappy about it, but there's no question about the call being made when the play began. The penalty marker was thrown down, as we said, just as the play started. And it did look as though there was motion in the backfield before the play began.
Yes, there was. I'm sorry. Instead of offside, there was Charlie Evans moving in the backfield, Marty. He took 2 steps forward.
It's 1st and 15 at the 18-yard line. 1st and 15, there's the New York Giants. Had gone from there 35 into the end zone, but of course the play was nullified because of the penalty. And the penalties are costing. 1 minute and 40 seconds to go here in this first quarter. And as Chip mentioned, Each team has fielded that ball only once on offense for both ball clubs. The New York Giants still have possession of the ball. As they break the huddle, they go to the line of scrimmage in a slot formation right. First and 15 at the 18-yard line. The handoff goes to Ron Johnson. He finds a big hole, drives downfield, down to the 5, keeps running right down to the 1-yard line. A marvelous run by Ron Johnson, who took the handoff, cut inside his right tackle, sidestep tacklers, split tackles, and then went right down to the 1-yard line where his first and goal to go.
Boy, he was determined to reach that goal line. Just fell short, thanks to Bob Babbage, who was hanging on, but Johnson they just gave him a slight crack in that San Diego defense. Greg Larson with a fine block on Babbage, who recovered in time to stop the touchdown, but not enough to stop the play.
It's first and goal to go on the 1-yard line of the San Diego Chargers of the New York Giants. Deep in the closed end of Yankee Stadium. Tight power I formation for New York. Marking under the center, calling signals. A long count. Man in motion. Houston. The handle goes to Johnson again. He swings wide. Cuts into the goal line. Goes in. Touchdown. The New York Giants go ahead 6-0.
He ran right over Jim Talbert. As Talbert came up to make the stop, Johnson just spun, knocked Talbert down, went into the end zone standing up, put the ball into the air, and the Giants have a touchdown.
A beautiful drive for New York of 65 yards, all set up by Spider Larkaw's interception at the 3-yard line. Down it up to the 35, and there the Giants offensive unit took over and went the rest of the way for the score. And they're lining up for the point after touchdown attempt. Pete Jogalak will kick it. Brand Tarkinen will hold. Giants leading 6-0. 47 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Ball a snap, placed down and booted, and it's through there. There's Hyman on the field with the score of the New York Giants 7, the San Diego Chargers 0. How many yards do you have, Marty? 2?
I'm not ready to settle in yet, so I date a lot of guys. But what all my men have is that turn-me-on English leather aroma. I always give them one of English leather's many gift ideas. An English leather fragrance, or lime, or timberline. Depends how I feel about the guy. English leather simplifies my gift-giving, but it sure complicates my life. All my men wear English leather. Every one of them.
Hello, this is Kyle Rote. If you want to hear what the M people are saying about the Giants and Jets, well, then subscribe now to my Giants and Jets Insiders newsletter. 32 pages all about the Giants and Jets, an abundance of features, articles, and outstanding photography, fresh and new every week. The cost is $7.95 for 26 consecutive issues, no matter when you subscribe. So mail your check or money order to me, Kyle Rote, 235 East 45th Street, New York City, 10017.
Jogalak ready to tee off the football at his own 40-yard line. Again, Jerry Levias and Brian Salter winning it now at the 5. The first time that Jogalak kicked off, the wind held the ball up. Didn't go nearly as deep as it usually does. The Giants are leading 7-0. 47 seconds to go in the quarter. Here's the boot again. This one is high in the air. Again, this one is deep. 3 yards in the end zone, and Salter is running it out. Up to the 10, cuts to the right, now to the middle again, to the 15, to the 20. Hit high and hard, and wrestled down to the ground at the 22-yard line of the Chargers.
Boy, that Ron Hornsby's some kind of football player. I tell you, when he tackled them, they stayed tackled. He grabbed them high and hard, and just picked them off the ground and dumped them.
Well, it's first and 10 now for the Chargers on the 22-yard line. Leon Burns in at fullback, replacing Jeff Queen. Burns started the game. Queen came in late in that first quarter drive. Mike Garrett, the running back. It's first and 10 at the 22-yard line. I formation, they shift out of the eye into a split backfield. John Hadel calls signals. Takes the snap. Gives off to Garrett, trying to swing wide. Burns rather makes the turn upfield, goes up to the 26-yard line. Filled at the 26 after picking up 4 yards.
Fine play by Otto Brown. Henry Reed and Brown made the stop, but Otto Brown really had to fight off a block by Walt Sweeney. He managed to take Sweeney out of the play. Sweeney, a 256-pounder, going against Brown's 188. And took Sweeney out of the play and held off long enough to help Henry Reed make the stop. That's the end of the first quarter with a score of the New York Giants 7, the San Diego Chargers 0. More Giants football right after this message.
Lafayette and Hamilton have everything it takes to make it in today's scene. Lafayette Clothes, 416 State Street in downtown Schenectady, with the finest men's fashion by Hamilton Park. Now there's a double good combination that really scores. See Hamilton Park's double knit suits at Lafayette and double your score. Hamilton's double knit suits are impeccably tailored. They show you from head to foot to very fashionable advantage. They work hard, play hard, but never show the wear. Lafayette Clothes has all the styles that make it today. Whether your tastes are far out or tend to be more conservative, you'll find the best selection and most knowledgeable salespeople at Lafayette, where style begins. Remember, there's nothing hotter on the fashion scene than double knit suits by Hamilton. Get that Hamilton feeling. Lafayette Clothes, 416 State Street in downtown Schenectady.
The scores, the Giants leading San Diego 7-0 after one period of play. In the first period, Kansas City and the Jets are tied 7-7. Also in the first period, Miami 7, Buffalo nothing. In the first period, Pittsburgh 10, Cleveland nothing. Wow. New England 7, Houston nothing in the first period. And in the second period, Atlanta and Cincinnati tied at 3-3. Marty?
It's 2nd and 6 now for the San Diego Chargers. The ball is on the Chargers' 26-yard line, 20 yards in from the right side. The Chargers now driving in towards the closed end of the stadium. Hadel calling signals as a slot formation to the left side. Hadel takes the snap, hands up to Garrett, trying to swing wide. He can't cut outfield, and he's hit hard at about the 27, 28-yard line as two of the Giants cut him down.
First was John Douglas taking care of the blocking, and then it was Ron Hornsby, and it looks like Scott Eaton getting up. Hornsby and Scott Eaton hitting him high and low after Douglas stripped the runner of his blocking.
Now it's 3rd and 4 at the 28-yard line of the Chargers. Half the field in shadow near the closed end, half in sunshine. The open end out in the outfield of Yankee Stadium. And they're in the sunshine end right now.
Twice, Marty, the Giants have blitzed on this particular play, sending Scott Eaton in there and got burned. Let's see what happens now.
It's 3rd and 4 at the 28-yard line of the Chargers. Hadel has a slot formation right. No motion under the Giants defense. A pitch out wide, going to Jeff Queen, trying to circle the end. He makes the turn, and he's hit down at the 31-yard line. He's short of the first down, I believe. He is. He needed 4, and he made only 3.
See now. As Henry Reed making a stop, I believe they're going to measure it close. I think a little closer than we expected, Marty.
I think he did not make the first down. I think he didn't make it by a yard. The series began at the 22-yard line. He had to get up to the 32. He's only at the 31-yard line. And the yardstick is being brought down now. There's no question about it. He's a yard shy.
Perfection. You called it right on the button.
My arm hurts from patting myself on the back.
A beautiful call. It was way across the field.
It's 4th and 1 at the 31-yard line. And the San Diego Chargers now send in their punting unit. A fellow named Dennis Quartzy. He kicks them a mile.
Marty, on that series of downs, we have to say something about the Giant pursuit. They tried first the Giant right end and Giant left end defensively, and both Reed and Dreyer did marvelous job.
Quartzy, P-A-R-T-E-E. Ready to kick from his own 17-yard line. He'll kick it from about the 20 as he moves forward. Double safety for the Giants. There's the boot by Quartzy, and then over-end kick, and fairly short, taken by Doohan at the 35, and he's hit almost immediately and down at the 37-yard line.
Number 47, Jeff Queen, was the first man downfield. There's timeout on the field with the score of the New York Giants 7, the San Diego Chargers nothing.
Like an anti-pollution valve gets clogged with dirty deposits, you can expect trouble, because a dirty anti-pollution valve can make your engine idle rough and stall. But there's something you can do to help prevent this kind of rough idling and stalling. Use Mobile. It contains a detergent that cleans your anti-pollution valve while you drive. Mobile Detergent Gasoline. It can help your car's performance.
Spider Lockhart shaken up on the play, being helped off the field. I think he just got rocked a little bit. A little groggy. Marty?
First and 10 for the Giants. The ball on the Giants' 37-yard line. Charlie Evans and Ron Johnson are the running backs. They line up in the I formation. Powered I. Now Houston comes in motion to the right. Parkin takes the pitch out, hands up to Charlie Evans, going back to the weak side, and he dives up to the 40-yard line, going on the backs and shoulders of Giants and Chargers up to the 40-yard line as he picks up 3.
Charlie running straight ahead. Couldn't find running room, so he just hurdled or tried to hurdle. Picked up short yardage. Stop made by Bob Babbage, who stacked up the play.
It's 2nd and 7 at the 40-yard line of the New York Giants. That Giant offensive unit doing fine work up front. Greg Lawson at center, Bob Highland, Doug Van Horn the guards, Willie Young and Charlie Harper the tackles, Bob Tucker the tight end, Coleman Zeno is the split end, and now the 2 wide receivers, Zeno and Houston, go out to the right side in the slot formation. Baxter in a split backfield. Fran talking and calling signal. 2nd and 7. Parkin takes the snap, drops straight back, sets up the pass, looks downfield, throws deep down to the left side to Ron Johnson. He's got it at the 30-yard line. He's tackled immediately. A high floating pass. Johnson knew he was going to get racked when that ball got to him, and he was hit hard, but he held on to the football at the 30-yard line of the San Diego Chargers, and the Giants are deep in Charger territory.
As Jim Hill, the safety man, coming up to make the stop, but it was an unfair matchup. Johnson against Mel Rogers, the linebacker, the strong side linebacker who was lining up on the right side. He flip-flopped. It was a foot race, and Ron just left him in the lurch. He beat him badly, but he had to wait for the ball. And as Marty said, he knew he was going to be hit. When he went up near, he really grabbed hold of it.
It's 1st and 10 at the 30 after the 30-yard pass play. Johnson and Evans are the running backs. Fran talking and calling signals. Takes the snap. A reverse play wide to Coleman Zeno, cuts back upfield, down to the 25-yard line, and he runs down to the... Giants go to the line of scrimmage. Zeno flank wide out to the left side. Houston split wide right. 1st and goal on the 8. Parkin under the center. Takes the snap, takes the pitch out, hands off to Evans. Evans spinning forward, goes to the goal line, and goes in. A straight run by Charlie Evans. Hit at the 5-yard line. He did a complete spin, and falling forward, he kept driving and digging, and in the arms of one of these San Diego Chargers, he just barreled into the end zone, falling across the goal line for the score, and the Giants lead 13-0.
Just would not be denied. That was Steve DeLong who had him, but Charlie was determined to get that touchdown, and he did on a brilliant run and another brilliant drive by the Giants. They looked just as sharp as possible in the quarter and a half that they played.
The first drive was 65 yards. This last drive was 63 yards. Here's the point after attempt. The ball is snap, placed down and booted, and it's through there. There's Hammond on the field with a score. The New York Giants 14. The Chargers nothing. More Giants football right after this message.
And now here's a message for all the ladies listening. Every day is Ladies' Day with an everyday interest savings account at Schenectady Savings Bank. Here's what that means. You ladies have a way of saving for particular reasons. A vacation trip, some additions to the wardrobe, a new freezer. And an everyday interest savings account is the ideal way to save for the things you want. Because you never have to worry about losing dividends when you withdraw before the end of the quarter. Just be sure to leave a $5 minimum balance after you take out the money you need. With an everyday interest savings account, your money is always handy and growing at the highest rate. 5% a year compounded quarterly. That's why we say you get the most at Schenectady Savings Bank. Stop in soon, ladies. Main office where Clinton crosses state. Bellevue Rotterdam office, 2525 Broadway. Mohawk Mall office, Balltown Road. And the Mechanicville office, 211 Park Avenue. Member, FDIC.
So the New York Giants have handled the ball twice and they scored twice. First on a 65-yard drive, then on a 63-yard drive. Marty?
Pete Gogolak moving towards the open end of the stadium. Kicks that ball high in the air and quite deep. Coming down 3 yards in the end zone, taken by Jerry Levias. Up he comes along the right side of the 10. Starts to go to the far side of the 15, and he's tackled at the 18-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Chargers at their 18, 19-yard line.
Half a dozen Giants have their hands on Levias, including Henry Reed. Also getting up from the pile, Joe Green, Richmond Flowers. See Joe Morrison serving on the special teams, too. And let's see, Spider Lockhart back in there. No, he's not. No, he's not. I saw him on the sidelines with his helmet on, but Pete Aptis is in as safety man for this series of downs. Let's see if Hadel attacks him.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line. Back to pass is Hadel on first down. Plenty of time, and he throws angling to the left, and it's stopped. Stopped at the 35-yard line of the Chargers by Billy Parks. He had it in his hands all right, and it just bounced off his middle as he went down to the ground. The ball bounced away, too.
Covering on the play, Jim Files. Giants in their zone defense. The strong side zone. Jim Files covering on the play, and also coming over to help out after the ball was dropped was Otto Brown.
Johnny Hadel is a mighty impressive passer. He throws that ball a bullet, and he throws it a mile. He's been accurate on virtually all his passes. When he's missed by very, very narrow margins. Second and 10 at the 19-yard line. Regular pro set. Back to pass again is Heidel on second down. Throws over the middle and is complete to Jeff Queen. Queen hit down at the 35-yard line of the Giants and falling forward to the 36. It'll be a first down as Queen came out of the backfield and over the middle and took that short pass right on the button for a first down.
Got behind Ron Hornsby on the zone, and it was Pete Aptis coming up quickly to make the stop. Giants know that Hadel has to pass, and Hadel is getting plenty of time so far. They're going to have to find a little better rush than this.
It's first and 10 for the San Diego Chargers on their 36-yard line. The ball is midway between the sidelines. Hadel again on the regular pro set. Signals are being called by Hadel. His head goes from side to side. He picks the handle, goes back to pass again, sets up plenty of time, throws to the right side, caught by Garrett, and Garrett is hit down immediately at the 38, 39-yard line.
Jim Files covering on the play. Good pass coverage by Files, who probably as good as any linebacker in pro football when it comes to covering on passes.
The pass was good for 3 yards. Makes it 2nd and 7 at the 39-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. The pass almost in on the right flat, but slightly forward.
Hadel on that play tried to get the motion going to the opposite side of the field. Isolate Garrett on the linebacker. He succeeded in doing, but it was a sure tackle by Files.
2nd and 7 at the 39 as the Chargers go to the line of scrimmage. Flat formation on the left side. Both wide receivers are left. Billy Parks and Gary Garrison. Fake handoff, a swing pass out to the left side to Garrett. He's got blockers in front of him up to the 40, the 45. Cuts between two, up to the 50-yard line, and knocked down at the 49 of the New York Giants. A penalty marker, however, is thrown down, and it could be clipping there at around the 42-yard line.
Could be, and I think it is by Gary Garrison, who was trying to throw a block to shake Mike Garrett loose.
Penalty is being exacted against the San Diego Chargers from the 42-yard line. It'll be a 15-yarder, either holding or clipping. We'll wait to see. There's no signal as yet from referee Norm Schachter. They're walking back towards the San Diego goal line, however. Schachter has the ball. Marking off the artist now. He places it down at the 27-yard line. Here's the signal. Holding.
Spider Lockhart's still out of there. I think what they're going to try and do is give Spider a breather if they at all can. Scott Eaton went over to the Giants sidelines, had a word with defensive coach Norb Hecker, who flashes signals to the Giants as to whether he wants them to play zone or go into a man-to-man. The Giants have been playing a 4-3 over. They've had their linebackers outside the defensive ends, apparently not worried about an inside running attack by the San Diego Chargers.
2nd and 19 at the 27 of the Chargers. Slot formation right. Hadel back to pass. Fake short. Handoff goes to Garrett on a reverse play. Up to the 30, 35. Cuts out in the clear. Cuts back to the right side. Along the 45-yard line. Hit down from behind at the 45-yard line. Almost a first down.
Almost breaking it all the way, too. He had one man to beat, Otto Brown. As Brown came up to meet Garrett, he stiff on Brown. And coming up very quickly from behind was Scott Eaton to make the tackle.
The play was good for 18 yards. They needed 19 for the first down. So it's 3rd and 1 at the 45 of the San Diego Chargers.
It's a great call by Johnny Hadel on that play. The Giants really looking for the pass. It opened up considerably, and they gave Garrett a lot of running room.
And Garrett can take advantage of it. One of the finest open field runners in football, Mike Garrett. 3rd and 1 at the 45. Key play. Slot formation left. The Giants defense packed in solidly. The Giants are leading 14-0. Hadel takes the snap, fumble, a loose ball, and the Giants do not recover, but they will get that football. Hadel fell on the fumble himself for a 1-yard loss, and it is going to be 4th and 2 at the 44.
Ron Hornsby has become the cheerleader for the defensive unit, clapping his hands together, running up and down, exhorting his teammates. I don't know if the Giants forced the fumble. I doubt that very much. I think Hadel just missed the snap from center. He tried to drop back a little too quickly.
Well, it's 14-0 New York. 6.5 minutes remain in the first half. Dennis Partee back on his own 30. Twin safeties for the Giants. Pete Assis is back there along with Bobby Duhan. Here's the punt now. The kick high in the air. A beauty. A marvelous kick. Way, way up. Fair catch called by Duhan at the 15-yard line. That boot was above the rim of the stadium, it seems to me, and that's way, way up there.
And there were exactly 9 charges downfield covering that punt. When Duhan took it, fair catch, there were 9 San Diego charges around them. Time out on the field with the score of the New York Giants, 14. The San Diego Chargers, nothing.
Hey, Chip, let's take a minute to talk about a performer who's been around for almost 24 years. The one that grinds out the yardage year after year. The one that can work out of a standard shift or out of the optional automatic. You know the one I mean.
Sure I do, Marty. I just read the script. You're talking about the Volkswagen Beetle. A little car that never seems to run out of gas.
That's right, Chip. With Volkswagen's air-cooled engine, you can't bog down on a cold Sunday in Minnesota or boil over on a hot day in Dallas. In fact, you never have to waste a time out for water. And since the engine's in back, it gives you great traction on a wet field. And if you ever decide to trade it in for cash or another sedan to be named later, the Beetle brings you a great return on your investment. And now here's Chip for the color coverage.
Thanks, Marty. The colors this year are bright orange, Sumatra green, Texas yellow, Mariner blue, pastel white. Visit your local authorized Volkswagen dealer and find out why there are over 3.5 million Beetles on the American road today. Giants ball, 1st and 10 on their 15-yard line. Fran Tarkenton under the center. Regular pro set. Flanking to the right side, split left end. The handoff goes to Ron Johnson. He splits up the middle, drives upfield, goes past the 30, up to the 34-yard line on a quick opener right up off his left guard. And he was past the line of scrimmage before the linebackers could converge on him. What a run by Johnson.
Beauchamp made the stop on the play. San Diego had loosened up its defensive line, spread it out quite a bit. Giants, I think Tarkenton may have spotted that and called an automatic. Sent Johnson on that quick pop right up the middle.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. 18 yards on that last run by Ron Johnson. Hand off to Johnson again. He piles up the middle this time. Drives forward for about 3 yards before he stops.
Well, Fran figured he succeeded with it once. He's going to try it again. That time, San Diego tightened up, though. Bob Babich again and Jim Hill coming in to make the stop. Also getting up around east, number 77. He picked up 3 yards, making a 2nd and 7 at the 36-yard line of the Giants. The Giants are out in front 14-0. 5 minutes and 20 seconds to go here in the first half, and the Giants have looked brilliant both ways. Play before this one, the man who was trapped, Andy Wright, the right tackle, was completely wiped out of a play that enabled Johnson to go. Well, it's 2nd and 7 at the 36-yard line. Giants line up in the I formation on the backfield. Zeno wide to the right. Peeling off to the right side is Ron Johnson. Signal's being called. The handoff goes to Charlie Evans. He drives up his own left guard and drives up to the 40-yard line as he picks up 4 yards. King on Johnson on the play. Number 59, the weak side linebacker, Pete Barnes. Stacking up the play, number 77, around east. Again, the defensive left tackle. Also getting up, Steve DeLong, number 82, the defensive right tackle. It's 3rd and 3 at the 40-yard line of the New York Giants. The Giants leading by a score of 14-0. The Giants mixing up their plays nicely. Those quick pops over the middle, and the quick traps up the middle, and the power sweeps, and all have been relatively effective thus far. It's 3rd and 3 at the 40-yard line as the Giants go to the line of scrimmage. Going to a slot formation on the right side. Both Zeno and Houston at the right side. Signals are being called. Back to pass, and whistle sound is delay of game against the Giants. The Giants spent too much time getting that play off, as Coleman Zeno at first went out to the left side, and he should have been slotted right. Then he went over to the right side, and then Bob Tucker realized he had to go back to the left side from his right end position. And by the time all that maneuvering took place, 30 seconds had elapsed since the ball was spotted, and that's delay of game. Got a change in the secondary. The linebacking core for San Diego. Rick Redmond is in there now in place of Mel Rogers. Rick Redmond, number 66. And he, of course, is playing the strong side linebacker. As we told you, San Diego will flip-flop its linebackers with Redmond or Rogers always playing the strong side. Well, the Giants have gone for touchdowns every time they've had the ball. This is the 3rd time, but it's 3rd and 8 at the 35. Back to pass is Tarkenton.
Setting up and throwing deep down to the right side to Zeno. He got the ball behind him. The pass was thrown slightly behind, but he misjudged that ball. He had plenty of time to slow down and wait for it. He'd beaten this defender. He dropped it at the 35-yard line. He just reached back for it instead of slowing down and waiting for the ball to come to him. He had plenty of room and time, but he just dropped that pass, even though it was slightly underthrown.
Wind may have had something to do with it, just as we're describing that play, a pretty good gust of wind. The ball may have caused Zeno to misjudge it, but he was clear. He was open.
Well, it's 4th and 8 at the 35-yard line. Tom Blanchard ready to punt. Fletcher and Leviathan twin safeties. There's a kick, a low kick. It's a good bounce for New York. Picked up by Fletcher. He starts to run upfield, and he's covered at about the 25, 26-yard line by the New York Giants.
Dave Alexakos making the tackle, the reserve guard from the New York Giants, covering on that punt. Alexakos is the way he pronounces his name. My Greek keeps coming back. Alexakos. Steve Alexakos, number 16.
Time has been called on the field for a moment. New York Giants are out in front by a score of 14-0. 3 minutes and 51 seconds remaining in this first half. At Coleman, Zeno has looked very, very good. Tremendous speed. And although he caught one pass in the end zone for a touchdown, that play was nullified because of a penalty against the Giants. The Giants came right back with the touchdown anyhow. And on that last pass play we tried to describe for you, he was very much in the clear. And perhaps it was a wind chip, as you suggest. And perhaps he tried to reach back for him. I saw him do that in practice one day in preseason workout. Running a top speed, he just reached behind him and pulled that ball in. He has a fine pair of hands, Coleman Zeno does. And he looked like... he was activated this morning, by the way, just about an hour before game time. Put on the active roster, although that had been anticipated all week long. He looks like a real fine addition to the New York Giants squad. Don Herman apparently still suffering from that shoulder injury he had before the season began. Every time he gets hit particularly hard, it slows him down.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification.
This is your guy, High Agent. Join me for your kind of music, weekdays, 3 to 7, here on the fresh air sound of Radio 81, WGY Schenectady.
Handoff goes up the middle, and for 2 yards, the ball is carried by Jeff Queen on a quick handoff up the middle on the first play after the resumption of play following the timeout.
Tried to trap Jim Konecki on that play, but it didn't work. Konecki rolled off the block, made the stop along with help from Ron Hornsby and Fred Dreyer.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 28-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. The New York Giants are out in front by a score of 14-0 with 3 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the first half. Regular pro set for the San Diego Chargers. Back to pass is Hadel. A quick pitch over the middle. Incomplete. Intended for the tight end, and it's incomplete. That's Pettis Norman arguing that he was interfered with.
He was, Marty, by the official. And that doesn't count. The official was right in the middle of the play. He got bumped by both Norman and by Scott Eaton, who was covering on the play. The official went one way, his hat went the other way, and the ball went a third way.
It's 3rd and 8 at the 28-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. New York Giants leading 14-0, scoring on 2 long drives of 65 and 63 yards. They line up in the pro set again, a split left end, Flacco wide to the right side. The running backs are Garrett and Queen. Hadel on 3rd and 8 will go to the air. Stops straight back to pass. Sets up now being rushed. A penalty marker on the play. A long pass downfield to Garrison. Incomplete at the Giants' 40-yard line. A penalty marker is down.
Again, it was Konecki with a big rush. They were stunning on that play. Konecki taking an outside route and Reed an inside route. The same thing with Lakes and Dreyer on the other side. Penalty looks like it's against San Diego.
It is, but I believe the New York Giants will refuse the penalty because it'll be 4th and 8 if they refuse it.
It's hard to say on that stunning, that looping defense the Giants were playing with the ends going inside the tackles on the rush. I think somebody grabbed hold of Fred Dreyer, who had a pretty good pass to John Hadel.
Well, the penalty is refused by the Giants. Dennis Marty comes back in a punt. The New York Giants are leading 14-0. They ought to have good field position after this punt. 3 minutes and 10 seconds remain in this first half. Pete Athas replacing Spider Lockhart, who was shaken up in the second quarter, early in the second quarter. He's back there with Bobby Duhon. Marty standing on a 15. Gets the snap, center moves forward, and boots that ball way up in the air. Another towering kick back gets called by Athas at the 25-yard line. Pete Anders making the catch at the 25 on the Giants. As a result of that very fine kick by Marty, are well back in their own territory at their 25. So it's 1st and 10 for the New York Giants, who have looked sparkling thus far, both ways, offensively and defensively.
Tell San Diego, each time San Diego's had the ball, that's 4 times, and they've scored 2 of the 3 times they've had the ball, and had a drive well underway the time they didn't score.
New York Giants break the huddle and move to the line of scrimmage. They're running back to Ron Johnson and Charlie Evans. Rich Houston flanked wide to the right side. In the slot to the right side is Coleman Zeno. Parkin takes it, goes back to pass on 1st down. Throws a short one over the middle. It's caught by Evans at the 30. He runs to the near sideline of the 35, gets the block. Up to the 40-yard line, spins away from another tackler to the 45, and down at the 48, 49-yard line on a fine run after a short catch over the middle.
Beautiful catch. Again, they caught Babbage, who's very, very active as a linebacker against the run. They suckered him in, got Evans behind Babbage in an open portion of the field as the Giants are playing that zone defense. Parkin is really picking holes in that San Diego zone defense, and Babbage, as I say, vacated. Evans did a magnificent job of running. Pete Barnes brought him down.
Coming up close to the 2-minute mark, 1st and 10 on the 49. The handler goes to Ron Johnson. He spins upfield, drives for 6 yards before he stops at the 45 of the San Diego Chargers, and now we've reached the 2-minute mark. So there's time out on the field with a score of the Giants 14, San Diego nothing.
Help you, ma'am?
Yes, I'd like some English leather aftershave.
Certainly.
And some English leather shave cream.
Anything else?
Yes, English leather hairspray.
Uh-huh.
Some English leather cologne and soap and a rope.
Right.
English leather plus deodorant. No, a bottle of shampoo.
Not so fast, please.
Timberline stick deodorant.
Yes,
Oh, I
yes.
almost forgot. English leather Quinoa hair tonic. I think that's all.
Say, you must be one of those English leather ladies. You know, all my men wear English leather, every one of them.
What was your first clue?
Hello, this is Kyle Rote. If you want to hear what the N people are saying about the Giants and Jets, well, then subscribe now to my Giants and Jets Insiders newsletter. 32 pages all about the Giants and Jets, an abundance of features, articles, and outstanding photography, fresh and new every week. The cost is $7.95 for 26 consecutive issues, no matter when you subscribe. So mail your check or money order to me, Kyle Rote, 235 East 45th Street, New York City, 10017.
New York Giants leading the San Diego Chargers 14-0. 2 minutes to play. Minute and 59 seconds on the scoreboard clock here in the first half. The Giants again driving downfield. The drive that started from their own 25-yard line. We see Spider Lockhart going off the field. The cheers of the crowd accompanied by Dr. Tony Pisani. Spider seems all right. I think they're just going to take advantage of the additional time to check him over. Marty?
It's 2nd and 3 for the Giants on the 44 of the San Diego Chargers. Parkin under the center takes the snap. Hands up to Charlie Evans. He's hit back at the line of scrimmage, but he scrambles forward anyhow for a yard gain on the play.
Sandy Wright, the defensive right tackle, read the play very well, trailed it, grabbed hold of Evans, and with Andy Rice hanging on, Evans managed to pick up about an additional yard.
Dick Kotite comes into the lineup now on the short yardage situation, replacing Coleman Zeno. So there's 2 tight ends in there. It's 3rd and 2 at the 43-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. Time remaining 1 minute and 30 seconds. Let's see what Fran Tarkin comes up with here. He may be going for the first down, but he may be going for a bomb on this one.
Just may throw on this play.
Well, Houston is flanked wide to the right side. Single coverage out there. 3rd and 2. Going back to pass now is Tarkin and throws down to the right side to Kotite. Kotite runs it down the sideline for a touchdown. The ball towards the 25-yard line. A fumbling catch made by Dick Kotite at the 25. He kept pumping the ball in the air, never quite grabbing hold on it for 5 yards.
Boy, he beat him badly on that play. Beat the linebacker, and the action was off to the opposite side of the field. So Kotite, once he beat the linebacker on that side, had clear sailing, and that's about as fast as I've seen Dick run. He saw the goal line and nobody, and he really accelerated.
My recollection, that's Dick Kotite's first touchdown as a New York Giant. 5-year veteran in the National Football League. 20-0 New York. 1:10 to go. Signals are being called now for the point after attempt. The ball is snapped, placed down, and booted. It's through there. There's time out on the field with a score of the New York Giants 21. The San Diego Chargers nothing. More Giants football right after this message.
A great new place to find fine quality furniture and to save is in the Tri-City area now. Macy's huge new home clearance center on Route 5, where everything is 20, 30, 40, even 50% less than Macy's original prices. Save on famous names like Heritage, Drexel, Lee's, Karastan, Simmons, Broyhill, and Alden. Save on discontinued models, floor samples, special purchases, carpet remnants, and cancellations. Everywhere you'll find great buys like colonial design tubular braid rugs for a 9 by 12 foot area, originally $39.99, now $19.99. Like fine table lamps, modern, traditional, and early American at 50% less than original prices. You'll be amazed at the savings at Macy's new home clearance center 5 miles west of Colony Center on Route 5. That's at 2241 Central Avenue. Open Monday through Fridays, 12:30 to 9:30 p.m., Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. And there's plenty of free parking. And they'll also help you load your car so you can save on delivery charges, too.
The kickoff by Pete Gogolak goes through the end zone for the automatic touchback. 1 minute and 10 seconds remain here in the first half. The New York Giants are leading 21-0. First and 10 now for the San Diego Chargers. The ball is on their 20-yard line. Hadel looks over the defense, takes the snap, takes the handoff, takes the short pass, throws a screen pass to the right side, and it's caught there by Queen. Queen along the right sideline up to the 30 to 35, and finally wrestled to the ground at the 41-yard line as Jeff Queen runs very well from the 30 to the 41-yard line. Tacklers grabbing at him, trying to pull him down. Nevertheless, he kept right on driving up to the 41-yard line, and now the San Diego Chargers call for their first timeout here in the first half to stop the clock with 57 seconds remaining in the half.
John Douglas, here comes the Giant prevent defense in there. They've got Joe Green in there now. Ralph Peck is coming in there. The Giants on that particular play had loosened up considerably, looking for the long pass. They figure Hadel's going to go to the bomb. Hadel, of course, took advantage of it by calling the screen, allowing the Giant pass rush to drift in. And he caught the Giant defense very loose, spread out all over the field, and picked up substantial yardage. Right now, you see Joe Green in there. The Giants have a fifth defensive back in. Also, Rich Houston. The Giants have a lot of speed on the field. This is a defense I haven't seen before. They have Richmond Flowers, Willie Williams, Pete Apted, Rich Houston, Scott Eaton. 5 linebackers in there.
And only
5 defensive backs.
Three men up front on a 3-man rush. It's first and 10 at the 41-yard line. Going back to passes, Hadel. Setting up, steps into the pocket, scrambles out. Now he starts going with the ball. He pulls away from another tackler, laterals the ball over to the far sideline of Garrett. Garrett drives upfield to the 48-yard line where he stopped. The play picks up 7 yards.
Caught back there, almost caught back there by Henry Reed. Spun away. Finally, it was Ralph Peck making a stop. Play also consumed 18 seconds.
The clock is running. Giants go to the line of scrimmage on defense. Just a 3-man rush. Hadel gets ducked under the center. 30 seconds to go in the half. The Giants are leading 21-0. Hadel takes it. A pitch out wide to the left side to Jeff Queen. He tries to circle the end. He drives upfield for a first down and rolls out of bounds at the 41-yard line, but the clock keeps running. And now it's stopped as the San Diego Chargers call for a timeout.
Giants have 6 defensive backs in there, 2 linebackers, and 3 defensive linemen. 6 defensive backs, including Rich Houston, who normally is a wide receiver, has played defensive back during the exhibition season. So we say this is a brand new defensive lineman for the Giants. 6 defensive backs, 2 linebackers, 3 defensive linemen. Ralph Peck is one of the linebackers in there, and the other one is Jim File. The defensive backs are Aptis, Brown, Green, Willie Williams, Scott Eaton, and Rich Houston. And now they change it again. I just got used to the other one. Marty did it again to me. Seems to be going back to their normal defense now.
You know, one of the things that prevent defense doesn't do is prevent gaining of yardage.
Right.
Seems to me every ball club that uses these prevent defenses, they give up gobs and gobs of yardage. Of course, they're playing the clock. I understand that. But one more play like the last play, and they'll have field goal position. It's first and 10 on the 41. It's actually field goal range now, long range, naturally. Back to passes Hadel. First down, steps into the pocket, throws down the middle, and it's caught by Billy Parks at the 20-yard line, and he's down at the 20, and there they are. 7 seconds to go in the half, and that prevent defense has prevented just about nothing at all. They've gone from their own 20-yard line to the New York Giants 20-yard line. on 4 plays against that prevent defense, and they have a field goal coming up for sure now. 21-0 the score, and it's a straightaway kick into the closed end of the stadium. The ball is right between these sidelines.
Something we've talked about over and over again. Prevent defense bends and bends and bends, and before you know it, snaps.
Well, as we say, there are 7 seconds remaining in the half. Line up for the field goal attempt. Marty tries it from 28 yards out. John Hadel holds, unless he's going to throw. Signal's called. The ball is snapped, placed down. It's kick all right. The kick is high in the air, and it is good. So, as we said, the prevent defense prevented, well, didn't allow a touchdown. Gave up 60 yards in 4 plays and the field goal. So it's now 21-3. The New York Giants are out in front. At this juncture, however, I don't think that we should be copying critics. Not the way the Giants have played football in this first half. They've done all the things you'd expect a superior football team to do. And they're playing a tough ball club here, one of the fine passing teams in the National Football League. They're out in front by a score of 21-3. Just 2 seconds to go in the half. And here's the first kickoff for the ball game for San Diego. And Rocky Thompson goes back there along with Bobby Duhan. Although there are 2 seconds remaining, the clock won't be put back in until the ball is touched by a receiver on the kickoff. Here it is now, the boot bounding down along the ground, taken by one of the up men. Green carries the ball up to the 35 to the 40-yard line, and that should end the first half.
Jeff Green made the stop on the play, Marty, and that does end the first half. Giants go off the field leading 21-3 at the end of the first half. This game here at Yankee Stadium, the Giants, the San Diego Chargers. The Giants playing brilliant football in the first half, scoring 3 of the 4 times they had their hands on the ball. New York got on the scoreboard first as time was practically running out in the first period at the 14-13 mark of the first period on a 1-yard run by Ron Johnson. That climaxed 65-yard drive. Pete Gogolak kicked the extra point. New York led 7-0. About 5.5 minutes later, it was Charlie Evans going in from 8 yards out. That was the end of a 63-yard drive. A brilliant 8-yard run by Evans, who just refused to go down until he got to the goal line. Again, Gogolak kicked the extra point. New York led 14-0. 13 minutes and 50 seconds into the second quarter. Dick Kosite took a 53-yard pass from Fran Tarkenton. The Giants in a short yardage situation. Both Marty and I said that Tarkenton was about ready to throw a pass on that situation with the 2 tight ends in there, and Fran did just that. He hit Kosite on the near sidelines. Dick took the ball behind the linebacker and beat the defensive backs into the end zone. 43 yards from Tarkenton. The kick was good. New York led 21-0. With 1 minute and 10 seconds left to play in the first half, New York went into its prevent defense and just gave up a lot of yardage until San Diego was in field goal territory. Dennis Partee, not Jack Partee. He's a linebacker with Washington. Partee kicked a 28-yard field goal, and the Giants went off the field 21-3 at the end of the first half. New York Giants taking the field, getting ready to receive the second half kickoff. They kicked off to start the game. The Giants leading 21-3. Briefly, some rushing statistics for the Giants. Ron Johnson has 60 yards and 9 carries, and Charlie Evans has 30 yards and 9 carries. Fran Tarkenton has completed 7 of 8 passes for 148 yards and 1 touchdown. So far, his best effort of the year. The New York Giants look sharp against Minnesota in a losing cause last week. Looking even sharper against San Diego, winning so far this afternoon. We have a whole half yet to play, and this, as we told you before, is a San Diego team that can put points on the scoreboard very quickly. Marty?
Rocky Thompson standing back near his own goal line underneath the crossbar. Bobby Duhan in front of him. Partee teeing up the football. Partee as differentiated from Pardee, the linebacker for the Washington Redskins. He's kicking off into the closed end of Yankee Stadium. He moves forward now, Marty does, and boosts the ball high in the air, coming down to Rocky Thompson at the 3-yard line. He runs up along the left side of the 10, the 15, 20-yard line, breaks down to the clear to the 35, the 40. He has 2 men at feet and got blockers in front, up to the 40, 35, 30, and knocked out of bounds at the 37-yard line is where he stepped out of bounds, forced out there on a great run back. That will teach the Chargers not to kick off to him.
I don't know, a great run back, but I just got the impression if he cut inside on the 40-yard line, he'd have gone all the way. The block, the man in front of him trying to block, I thought it was perhaps Dick Kotite. He couldn't force the man who was blocking inside, so he forced him outside, and of course, Rocky running that way had to go out of bounds too, but still a great run back. And the Giants, Dennis Partee, the kicker, incidentally, is the man who forced him out of bounds, gives the Giants great field position.
First and 10 on the 37 of the Chargers. Giants in possession of the ball. Slot formation on the left side, running back to Johnson and Evans. Signals called. The hands up goes to Evans. He drives off left guard, gets a good block from Johnson, and goes for 7 yards before he stops.
Excellent block. Ron Johnson on the defensive right end. Steve DeLong, Pete Barnes, and Bob Babbage making the stop. Again, the Giant running game, which looked so effective, over 90 yards in the first half, looks just as effective so far here on one play in the second half. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification.
Coming your way Monday through Saturday, 5:30 to 10, here on the fresh air sound of Radio 81, WGY Schenectady.
It's 2nd and 3 at the 30-yard line. The New York Giants line up in a regular pro set. Signals are being called. Brian talking with 2nd and 3. Takes it and hands off now to Ron Johnson. He pulls forward for 6-7 yards before he stops. He's got a first down. Wait a second. The ball was taken out of Ron Johnson's hands by one of the defensive linemen, and it's San Diego ball. Johnson drove forward for the 7 yards, all right, but 3 yards shy of that, one of the Chargers had taken the ball out of his hands.
Andy Rice, the defensive right end, the right tackle of the San Diego Chargers, as Ron went by, just took the ball out of his hand. No one saw that, Marty, not even the officials. Half the officials had blown the play dead. One of them turned around, and Rice was standing up with the ball.
First and 10 at the 26-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. Big break, good play for the Chargers. Hadel, quick square out to the right side, and it's caught and trapped immediately as the receiver at the far side.
Otto Brown covering very quickly on the play, came up to make the stop.
It was Billy Parks who made the catch at the far side on a quick square out. The play is good for 3 yards up to the 29-yard line. It's 2nd and 7 at the 29 of the San Diego Chargers. The New York Giants are out in front by a score of 21-3, but the steam has been let out of them as a result of that steal by Rice. It's 2nd and 7 at the 29 as the Chargers break the huddle. Go to the line of scrimmage. Mike Garrett and Jeff Queen on the running backs. Johnny Hadel, the quarterback. Gary Garrison and wide receiver Billy Parks are flanked to the left side. A pitch out wide to the left. Carrying the ball is Mike Montgomery trying to swing wide, and he's tackled at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Scott Eaton taking care of the interference, and Fred Dreyer taking care of the runner. Billy Parks was trying to run interference. Scott took him out of a play, and that gave Dreyer a clear shot at the runner, and he racked him up.
Ball just shy of the 30-yard line. Makes it 3rd and 6 at the 30-yard line.
Evidently, Marty Pidolac back in there, so he was just shaken up in the first half. He's back at free safety.
It's 3rd and 6 at the 30-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. Montgomery and Queen are the running backs now. Mike Montgomery, a rookie from Kansas State. Signals being called. 3rd and 6. Big play. Hadel back to pass. Gets the rush. Throws over the middle. And it's caught now by Montgomery. Montgomery is tackled at the 37-yard line. He's got the first down. But a penalty marker, I believe, was thrown down. Yes, it was. A penalty marker was down, and it may be against the Giants.
The disconsolate-looking Fred Dreyer standing back there. He may have taken a shot at Hadel after the play. Let's see.
Personal foul it is. Roughing the passer. That's the signal. Play was good up to the 37-yard line, and they'll get an additional 15 yards from where the play was completed as a result of roughing the passer. So it's 1st and 10 for the Chargers now in Giant territory, the Giant 49.
Well, this is going to put the test of the Giant defense. San Diego could get back in this ball game with a score right now. Certainly plenty of time.
New York Giants started like a house of fire here at the start of the second half with that marvelous run back by Rocky Thompson. Right down on the 37-yard line of the Chargers, but on the second play, the ball was plucked out of the hands of Ron Johnson. And now the Chargers are on the way back. From there, 26, they're up to the New York Giants 49, where it's first down. Running back to Mike Montgomery and Jeff Queen. Signals being called. Hadel back to pass on first down. Setting up. Throws over the middle. And it's incomplete. Incomplete at the 35-yard line. The pass was underthrown just a fraction for Gary Garrison.
Covering on the play was Otto Brown. Jim Files also dropping back. Giants pass rush is just missing getting to Hadel. Giants just a fraction of a second too late. San Diego offensive line able to hold the Giants off just enough. And Dreyer is really frustrated. I think that's probably the reason he took that whack at Hadel in the play before this. He's missed him barely several times this afternoon.
It's 2nd and 10 on the 49 of the New York Giants. Billy Parks splits wide out to the left side. Gary Garrison is flanked wide right. The backfield shifts into a split backfield as Hadel now goes back to pass. Sets up, throws out to the left side, and it's incomplete. The wind made that ball sail on a pass intended into the left side to Mike Montgomery, and he wasn't close to it. The ball flying almost crazily through the air, a poor spiral.
John Douglas covering on the play. Douglas and Montgomery actually had a step on Douglas. The ball was nowhere near either of them.
Tough play coming up right here. 3rd and 10 for the Chargers on the Giants' 49-yard line. Hadel almost positively has to go to the air in this situation. Although in one such play early in the ball game, on a reverse play he gave off to Mike Garrett, who picked up the necessary yardage. But it's 3rd and 10 now at the 49 of the Giants. Regular pro set. Hadel looking over the Giant defense. Takes the snap and goes back to pass. Steps into the pocket and throws over to the left. It's caught by Billy Parks at the 40-yard line. He's down short of the first down. He's at the 40-yard line, about 2 feet shy of the first down, and they may go for it.
Slanted pattern that was run by Parks, and to his credit that he held onto that ball, he was really racked up after he cut inside.
The ball is on the 40-yard line of the Giants. The yardstick indicating first down is just shy of the 39-yard inbounds marker.
Go for it.
They certainly are here. Trailing as they are, 21-3. Big play, force and 2 feet. Force and 2 feet on the Giants' 40. Double wing formation, one deep back, a pitch out wide to the right side. Carrying the ball is Montgomery. He's got the first down and more. He's got 7 yards on the play to the New York Giants' 33-yard line.
Good call by Hadel. The Giants were backed in solidly. He didn't give him a chance to recover. A very quick count, took the ball, pitched it out to Montgomery. The Giants were never quite set to defend against that play.
Johnny Hadel running this ball club smartly from his own 26-yard line. He now has the ball club to the New York Giants 33. They break the huddle, go to the line of scrimmage, driving in towards the closed end of Yankee Stadium. White uniforms, white helmets, and gold pants. Under the center now as Hadel takes the snap. He hands off to Queen. Queen tries to swing wide. He has running room down to the 30-yard line to the 25, and still throws to the 21-yard line where he's finally stopped.
Billy Williams missed the tackle on about the 26-yard line. He finally brought down by Scott Eaton and John Douglas. That time they bunched the Giant line. They actually pinched in the entire Giant defensive line, they being the San Diego Chargers, and Queen had a lot of outside running room.
And the likelihood is that Hadel will go to the air on the next couple of plays. It's 2nd and goal on the 8-yard line.
Hasn't gone to his tight end yet, Marty. Pettis Norman.
Norman, one of the better blockers in the National Football League, played some 9 years with the Dallas Cowboys. 2nd and goal to go on the 8-yard line, and now the San Diego Chargers call for a timeout.
Timeout on the field with the score of the New York Giants 21, the San Diego Chargers 3. More Giants football right after this message.
Sandy, you're wondering which way to go.
When you quit school, you double the risk that you won't find a job, any job. So if you're in school, stay there. If you're already out, see your state employment service or youth opportunity center about job training programs.
New York Giants with their back to the wall. San Diego has the ball. Second and goal to go on the Giant 8-yard line. The Giants leading in the ball game 21-3, but the momentum has swung San Diego's way. Marty?
They go to the line of scrimmage, flanker wide to the right side as Garrison. The rest of the ball club is tight. They shift into a split backfield. Both ends are tight with the flanker to the right. Second and goal on the 8. Hadel on a handoff to Montgomery. Montgomery is stopped after picking up only 1 yard on a play that was a cross block right down to the 6-yard line. Actually picked up 2 yards on the play, so it's third and goal at the 6.
Jim Kinnicky hit him at the line of scrimmage, and Scott Eaton made the stop just past the line of scrimmage. Kinnicky a little angry with himself. They tried to trap Jim on the play on that cross buck, but he rolled off the block and had the runner at the line of scrimmage. Let him get away. Jim a little dissatisfied, but he did slow down the play.
The ball is right smack in front of the uprights. It's third and goal on the 6-yard line. Flanker to the right side. The rest of the team is tight. Hadel rolls out to the right, looking to pass into the end zone, throws into the corner, and it's caught for a touchdown. Garrison makes the catch in the right corner for the touchdown on a down-and-out pattern. About 6 yards in the end zone, just short of the sideline. It's good for the score, and the San Diego Chargers are back in this ball game. They trail now 21-9.
He beat Otto Brown on the play. Quick down and out. Brown tried to stay with him, but Garrison gave him an inside move, then went for the sidelines, and Hadel put the ball right there.
Dennis Party ready beside the point after touchdown. John Hadel holds. Flows into the stadium. Signals called. The ball is snapped, placed down, and booted. Is through there. There's Tyler on the field with the score of the New York Giants 21. The San Diego Chargers 10.
1949. Detroit comes out with a whole new look. Big, wide, more power than ever before.
Volkswagen introduces its small economy car, the Volkswagen Beetle.
1959. Detroit is more impressive than ever before. Fins, chrome, and hundreds of cubic inches of V8 muscle.
Among other things, Volkswagen has enlarged the front and rear windows.
1965. Detroit is even bigger and wider, with some cars going as high as 360 horsepower.
Volkswagen adds the 1,981st improvement to its economical Beetle and sells its 18 millionth small economy car.
1971. Detroit announces a whole new concept in driving.
The small economy car.
Visit your local authorized Volkswagen dealer and find out why there are over 3.5 million Beetles on the American road today.
Well, the New York Giants are out in front now by a score of 21-10. They scored the first 21 points in the ball game with drives of 65, 63, and 75 yards, and a 28-yard field goal by Party at halftime. And a 74-yard drive by the San Diego Chargers to put them back in the game. They trail now by 11. Chip?
Marty could almost call that a 14-point swing right then. Giants on the San Diego 26-yard line and driving for what looked like might have been another touchdown, lose the ball, and San Diego winds up with a touchdown for the Giants, who had an opportunity to go ahead 28-3, and now ahead 21-10. And momentum, that word again, is now in San Diego's favor with still 22 minutes to play in the ball game.
Party will kick off from his 35-yard line now. The first kickoff attempt went out of bounds. Here's the boot by Party. A low spinning kick down to the 25-yard line, taken by Joe Green. He runs up to the 30, the 35-yard line, cuts back to the left of the 40, and he's down at the 42-yard line. A good run back by little Joe Green.
Tried to keep the ball away from Rocky Thompson, and it's no wonder the only time he handled it today, he ran it back from 60 yards. It was John Tanner, a reserve tight end, making the stop.
And, you know, in trying to keep the ball away from Rocky, they stick it short, squib-like, and that enables the New York Giants to get real good field position under any circumstances, as they have now, first and 10 on their own 42-yard line. Both wide receivers go wide to the left side. Coleman, Zeno, and Rich Houston. The handoff goes to Charlie Evans, cuts it off his left tackle, and drives up for a 1-yard gain up to about the 44-yard line, making a 2-yard gain by Charlie Evans.
Good block by Ron Johnson on the weak side linebacker. Beat Barnes, but Bob Babbitt, who plays beautifully against the run, came up to make the stop.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 44 of the New York Giants. The Giants are out in front by a score of 21-10, and they've got to regain their sharpness they had here at the start of the second half, when that opening kickoff was run back by Rocky Thompson deep into Charger territory, and then the ball was just plucked from the arms of Ron Johnson. Flat formation to the right side. Both wide receivers are right. Signals call. 2nd and 8 at the 44. Targeting back to pass on 2nd down. starts to scramble back there, running around in circles, throws out to the right side, caught by Evans at the 40-yard line. Angles to the near sideline, drives the field to the 46-yard line where he's down. The play picks up 2 yards, and he might have lost many yards on the play, but Tarkenton spotted Evans, and Evans picked up the necessary yardage at his 2 yards instead of Tarkenton losing yardage.
Babbage and Barnes making a stop, and way downfield all alone, Coleman Zeno. Zeno had completely beaten the defenders on the play, but Ryan was scrambling, couldn't spot him, had to throw to the safety valve man. Charlie Evans on the play. Giants, as Marty said, have to regain their sharpness after they turn the ball over. The offense did. The defense sagged. Let's see now if the offense can come back.
Our most important series right here. 3rd and 6 on the 46. Tarkenton looking right and left. Takes the snap. Takes the hand up. Goes back to pass. Sets up now. Throws deep. Deep down to the right side to Houston. Way down. Incomplete. Overthrown about a yard.
Foot race between Houston and Bob Howard, and they were about even going downfield. Would have taken a miraculous catch by Houston. Ball was along the sidelines, and it was overthrown, and the Giants turned it over. This will be only the second time this afternoon that Tom Blanchard has punted. Incidentally, Franz Ogden with that touchdown pass to Kotite in the second period tied Y.A. Tittle's fourth on the all-time touchdown list, each with 212 touchdown passes in their career.
4th and 6 at the 46-yard line. Blanchard back on his own 32. Moves forward. Boosts the ball. A low end-over-end kick. Very short, coming over to the near sideline out of bounds at the 42-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. That play was only good for some, let's see now, 12 yards. That's all. Well, there's a timeout on the field with a score. The New York Giants 21, the San Diego Chargers 10.
I love lime. In fact, the only drink I drink is a lime Ricky. I adore lime sherbet. And if anyone steals the limelight away from me, then I really get green. But you know what I love most of all? Men who wear English leather lime aftershave or cologne. Of course, all my men wear English leather. But the ones who really know me wear English leather lime. They know the way to this girl's heart is through her nose.
Hello, this is Kyle Rote. If you want to hear what the N people are saying about the Giants and Jets, well, then subscribe now to my Giants and Jets Insiders newsletter. 32 pages all about the Giants and Jets, an abundance of features, articles, and outstanding photography, fresh and new every week. The cost is $7.95 for 26 consecutive issues, no matter when you subscribe. So mail your check or money order to me, Kyle Rote, 235 East 45th Street, New York City, 10017.
Well, the New York Giants, who performed so well in the first half and came out roaring in the second half and had the ball stolen by San Diego and now flat, no question about it. And that poor kick by Blanchard has given San Diego excellent field position.
It's 1st and 10 on the 42 of the San Diego Chargers. Regular pro set. Hadel under the center, takes the snap. He goes right back to pass on 1st down. Throws on the right, and it's caught by Jeff Queen at the 40-yard line, and he's down to the 36-yard line of the New York Giants. The 1st down, and the Chargers are back in Giant territory.
Sending Queen out of the backfield against Jim Files. He beat Files. It was Scott Eaton who had to make the stop, but Hadel's getting plenty of time to throw now, and he's beginning to pick the Giants apart, running and passing. San Diego taking advantage of a very poor kick by Tom Blanchard. Now driving into Giant territory again. San Diego trailing in the ball game 21-10, but driving and with plenty of time, as we say, and everything going for it right now.
23-yard pass play makes it 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Leon Burns is in at fullback, replacing Jeff Queen. Slot formation on the left side. 1st and 10 on the Giants' 35. The handoff goes to Mike Montgomery, swinging wider on the right side, and he's forced out of bounds at the far sideline for very little gain. Maybe 1 yard to the 34-yard line of the Giants.
Actually, Jim Files fighting off a block by Walt Sweeney forced Montgomery out of bounds on that play. Just about a 1-yard pickup.
It's 2nd and 9 at the 34 of the New York Giants. The Giants are leading in the ball game 21-10. 4 minutes and 21 seconds remain here in the 3rd quarter. And as Chip mentioned, the New York Giants seem to have flattened out considerably after that opening drive here at the start of the second half. San Diego Chargers trailing by 11 points, already within field goal range. 2nd and 9 at the Giants' 34. Flanco wide to the left side is Garrison. Split wide right is Billy Park. The running backs are Burns and Montgomery, a pair of rookies. Signals being called by John Hadel. Stops straight back to pass. Goes a pass right down the middle. Almost intercepted. Intended right down the middle for Billy Park. It was deflected at the last moment and knocked away.
Once again, Spider Lockhart this time trying a safety blitz. They've sent Eaton in a couple of times. Lockhart this time, but wasn't even close to getting Hadel, who really is releasing the ball very quickly, depending on that play and almost coming up with the interception. Playing Parks beautifully on that turn-in was Otto Brown, number 21. Parks very quick, turning in down the middle. Brown staying with him, though. Almost came up with the interception. Spider coming up from the safety position as Hadel was reading it and trying to get Parks out there. Good defensive play by Brown.
Leon Burns out again. Jeff Queen is in. The running back to Queen and Montgomery. It's 3rd and 9 at the 34. Big play rolling out to the right as Hadel being rushed. Throws over the middle, and it's complete to Montgomery. He's going for the first down. He's got it now over the far side, and he's run out of bounds about the 20-yard line. The ball was thrown short over the middle, completed at the 30-yard line. He had to get down to the 26, and Montgomery angled for the side and that yard marker and was forced out of bounds at the 25-24. Let's see where they place it down now. Inside at the 21-yard line is where they judge he went out of bounds for the first down. A key 3rd down pass. Beautiful call. That time Hadel almost hit as he threw that ball. Nevertheless, got it away.
What he did, Marty, was send his deep receivers out, flooding the deep secondary, allowing the Giants linebackers and linemen to come in, and he had that whole middle open where he dumped off that short pass.
It's 1st and 10 on the 21. The Giants are leading 21-10, but that lead is threatened right now. Option pass coming up. Throwing it is Montgomery. Touchdown to Garrison. Gary Garrison just in the corner over the goal line near the red flag at the corner of the sideline on the goal line. On the option pass thrown by Mike Montgomery. He swung around the left side and faded back to throw after taking the handoff from Hadel. And Montgomery, a rookie from Kansas State, threw the pass complete into the corner to Gary Garrison, and it's now 21-16.
Montgomery running to his left. Here's the kick.
And it's good by Parks. The penalty flag is dropped. Offside call against the Giants is refused. It's off.
Montgomery running to his left. Garrison all alone in the end zone. Nearest man to him, Spider Lockhart, who was 5 yards away. The Giants completely fooled on that play as Montgomery running to his left had sucked the entire Giants defense over that way, including the short coverage on the pass. And so Spider was left all alone in the middle. He could not get over to Garrison, who was all alone, caught the ball in the corner of the end zone for the touchdown, and San Diego very definitely in this game once again. They stand out on the field with the score, the New York Giants 21, the San Diego Chargers 17. More Giants football right after this message.
That was a 1971 American sedan crashing head-on into a test barrier at 5 miles per hour. The repair bill, about $330. That was our car, the new Saab 99E, crashing into the same barrier at 5 miles per hour. The repair bill, $0, because there was no damage. Our car has new impact-absorbing bumpers that exceed 1973 federal safety standards. And because it does, the Saab 99E is the only car anywhere that qualifies for a 15% reduction on collision insurance at Allstate. That can save you up to $100 a year on insurance premiums. There are 2 cars built in Sweden. Before you buy theirs, drive ours, the Saab 99E. We think you want to buy ours instead of theirs. The Allstate discount available in most states.
Kickoff almost fumbled and lost by the New York Giants, but Rocky Thompson fell on it. It was picked up by one of the linemen up front, and he lateraled back to Rocky, but the lateral was fumbled momentarily by Rocky, who fell on the ball at the 16-yard line, where it's 1st and 10 for the New York Giants to pass 16.
Joe Green, Marty, who picked up the ball, tried to get it back to Rocky, but he fired it back blindly and bounced off Rocky's chest, and he just fell on the ball.
Giants need an offensive drive right here. Parking him under the center. His same running back, Johnson and Evans. Signal's called. The handoff goes to Ron Johnson, trying to swing wide, cuts him off the tackle, runs into his own man, Bob Tucker, and he picks up only 1 yard.
Got a good block from Bob Highland, who forced the linebacker, the outside strong side linebacker out of there. That's Rick Redmond. But unfortunately, Bob Tucker was shoved into the path of the runner, and the play was broken up that way.
It's 2nd and 9 at the 17-yard line of the New York Giants. The Giants must get an offensive moving here. Their lead now is cut 21-17 after leading 21-0. It's 2nd and 9 at the 17-yard line. Talking to take the snap, goes back to pass, sets up now, throws, angling to the left, and it's caught by Coleman Zeno. He drives upfield to the 29-yard line. He's got the first down.
Put his head down and just ran right into Bob Babbage and number 77, Ron East. But he had the first down, got the ball, took 2 steps, got the first down. Good, sure catch by Zeno right over the middle.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line of the New York Giants. Coleman Zeno, a rookie. Charlie Evans, another rookie. Both playing important parts in the ball game thus far this afternoon. They're on the taxi squad earlier this year. As a matter of fact, Zeno was activated only this morning. First and 10 at the 29. Giants leading 21-17. The handoff goes to Ron Johnson. He drives up the middle, but he's tapped at the line of scrimmage. Falls forward for perhaps a yard gain to the 30-yard line.
Looping around, the weak side linebacker, Pete Barnes, just looping around and making the stop. Very sure tackle, grabbing Ron around the shoulders and driving him down to the earth.
2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. The New York Giants out in front by 4 points after leading 21-0. 2nd and 9 at the 30 of the New York Giants. Giants huddled up. No changes in the offensive unit. Houston playing the flanker back. Evans and Johnson, you know, the running back. Tight end is Bob Tucker. Split end is Coleman Zeno since early in the ball game. 2nd and 9 at the 30. Slot formation to the left side. Both wide receivers left. Talking and back to pass on 2nd down. Throws angling to the left side, and it's caught by Evans. Evans up to the 35, 38-yard line, and he's wrestled down at the 38-yard line as he picks up some 8 yards.
Again, Pete Barnes making the stop. Evans was trying to get some running room, trying to cut away from Barnes. I think his cleats, though, slipped on the turf, and Barnes was able to catch him and bring him down before he could get to the first down.
He's about a yard and a half shy of a first down, and Coleman Zeno goes to the sideline. Dick Kotite comes in. Short yardage situation, third and about a yard and a half. Ball between the 37 and 38 hash marks.
Well, the Giants gambled once before and threw a pass to Kotite on the same situation, but they have the luxury of a 14-point lead there.
They go to the line of scrimmage now. The defense is in tight, so the Giants. The power I formation. The handoff goes to Charlie Evans. He goes for more than the first down. He's got 6 yards up to the 44-yard line from the 38.
Again, Pete Barnes making the stop as they continue going at the weak side of the San Diego defense. And one thing this Evans has shown us is quick acceleration. He's not the fastest back in the world. That's a tired old phrase that everybody uses anyway. But he's got enough speed. More importantly, he accelerates very quickly. Gets off the mark very quickly. He really burst across the line that time.
Room made for him by Highland and Lawson as they cross-block. It's first and 10 at the 44 of the New York Giants. The Giants leading 21-17. 15 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Taking a hand off Talkin, goes back to pass and throws long. Down to the left side to Zeno. Coleman. Zeno has it down the far side. He goes to the 2-yard line, and he's pulled down at the 2. Great catch by Coleman Zeno along the far sideline. Perfectly led by Fran Tarkinen. Ball placed at the 3-yard line. It'll be first and goal at the 3.
Well, that'll wake him up. Should anyway, with 4 seconds left to go in the third quarter. He beat the free safety man, Jim Hill, on that play. As again, the San Diego zone was beaten by Fran Tarkinen. These teams play almost identical defenses, except that I think San Diego stays in the zone a lot more than the Giants do.
Dick Kotite comes in now at tight end, replacing Coleman Zeno. It's first and goal to go at the 3-yard line. New York Giants are leading 21-17. Just seconds remaining here in this third quarter. This might be the last play of the third quarter. First and goal on the 3. The Giants are set. Tarkinen hands off Evans. He goes to the line of scrimmage and drives to the 1-yard line. And the gun sounds, ending the third quarter. That's the end of the third quarter with the score. The New York Giants 21, the San Diego Chargers 17.
Deposits can build up in your carburetor, and a dirty carburetor could mean trouble. But you don't have to worry about a dirty carburetor, because even if you do have a dirty one, we can help with mobile detergent gasoline. because the detergent in Mobil cleans your carburetor as you drive. So use Mobil detergent gasoline. It can help your car's performance.
Mobil gasoline takes you where you want to be. Mobil gasoline.
New York Giants leading in the ball game, 21-17. This is Chip Cipolla along with Marty Glickman at Yankee Stadium. We're about to begin the fourth quarter of play. The Giants leading 21-17, seeing a 21-0 lead almost wiped out. But they are now inside the San Diego 1-yard line. Second down, goal to go on a brilliant passing combination of Fran Tarkenton to Coleman Zeno. Zeno going down to the 3-yard line. A juggling catch, setting up what the Giants hope will be their fourth touchdown of the day.
New York Giants are huddled up around the 12-yard line. Tarkenton calling the play in the huddle. He's been real sharp today, Fran has. Now they break it and go to the line of scrimmage where the San Diego Chargers wait for them. Tight power eye formation. Second and goal to go on the 1-yard line. Evans and Johnson, the deep back. The handoff goes to Evans. He pulls across. Touchdown off his own left guard. He's spun in for the score, and the Giants are out in front by a score of 27-17.
Well, he thought of the block by Willie Young. Willie just wiped out, practically single-handed, wiped out the entire right side of that San Diego line. At least he pushed it back far enough for Evans to go behind that block.
They let Fran Tarkenton and Coleman Zeno have the two big pass plays between them on a 2nd and 9 situation, and then on that long pass play along the sideline where Zeno made that juggling catch. Here's the point after 10 coming up now at the close end of the stadium. Signal called. The ball is snapped, placed down, and kicked. And it's good. So the New York Giants are out in front now by a score of 28-17. And again, the tie seems to have swung for the New York Giants. Offense looking sharp in the last series naturally as they went from their 16-yard line, driving 84 yards for the touchdown.
Look at some other scores, Marty. In the third period, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Jets still tied 10-10. In the third period, Pittsburgh leading Cleveland 16-2. In the third period, it's New England 14, Houston 13 now. In the second period, Dallas and St. Louis tied at 3-3. In the third period, Philadelphia leading Washington 7-0. Boy, there's nothing like a clean shave, is there? Miami 21, Buffalo nothing in the third period. In the second period, Oakland 7, New Orleans nothing. In the second period, Green Bay 14, Chicago nothing. Atlanta 3, Cincinnati 3 in the first period. Marty?
Gogolak booting that ball deep to Brian Salt as he's running up from the goal line of the 15-yard line down to the 20 and down to the 21-yard line. And I thought he fumbled the ball for a moment, but he did not. He held on to that football and a wild scramble of arms and legs at the 21-22-yard line.
Joe Green and Joe Morrison making the stop. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification.
WGY, Schenectady, New York.
New York 28, San Diego 17. We're in the fourth period. 14 minutes and 38 seconds left to play. Marty?
First and 10 at the 22. Hadel fakes the handoff, throws a swing pass to the right side of Mike Montgomery, runs along the right-hand side, down to the 30, the 35, the 40-yard line, along the near sideline. He's forced out of bounds at the midfield line. A swing pass out to the right side, and Mike Montgomery, that rookie, with great speed, accelerating along the sideline, led by Russ Washington, the huge tackle, came down the near side, and Johnny Hadel and those San Diego Chargers come roaring right back.
Beautiful block put on Washington, by Washington on Spider Lockhart. Really opened it up on that play as San Diego is now opening its complete bag of tricks. Faked by Hadel into the line, throws the Giant defense, and that swing pass left Montgomery with a lot of running room.
28 yards on the play is first and 10 at midfield. Hadel looking right and left as he calls signals, takes the snap, drops straight back to pass, sets up now, looking to throw deep, and he does. Way downfield, no one there, and it's incomplete at the Giants' 15-yard line. It was intended for Billy Parks, but Parks is about 5 yards shy.
Thanks to Otto Brown, who's playing the bump and run, and Otto put a good bump on him on about the 30-yard line, took him completely out of a play. Did it, of course, before the ball was in the air, which is perfectly legal.
So it's 2nd and 10 now for the San Diego Chargers at the midfield line. The ball is at the right hash marks as the Chargers drive towards the open end of Yankee Stadium. Their running backs are now Jeff Queen and Mike Montgomery. Their wide receivers are Billy Parks and Gary Garrison. Their tight end is Pettis Norman. John Hadel at quarterback all game. Haven't seen Marty Domrey's, the former Columbia star, in action at all. It's 2nd and 10 at the midfield line. Hadel passing on almost every down, goes back to pass again. His backs go downfield. They throw over the middle, and it's incomplete. Intended for one of the backs over the middle. Like Montgomery it was, and it fell incomplete as the pass was thrown wide of him at the Giants' 40-yard line.
Hadel continues to get good protection. That offensive line is really keeping the Giants out of there. The Giants last week against Minnesota were able to get to Gary Quazzo, and they had an excellent pass rush going against the Minnesota Vikings, but Hadel's protection has been excellent today. He's getting plenty of time to throw. That time he just threw wildly.
Leon Burns comes in at fullback now, the rookie replacing Jeff Queen, so the running backs are Burns and Montgomery. It's 3rd and 10 at the midfield line, the Giants leading 28-17. Sure pass play coming up here. Let's see what it is. Going back is Hadel again. He sets up. Big rush hard now. Throws over the middle. And it's wide. Wide of Philly Park. Incomplete at the 40-yard line of the Giants. And Hadel was hit hard and may be hurt. He's on his back now at the 41-yard line. And he was really belted. He was rushed that last time, as we said. And as he threw, he was hit.
Ed Ron Hornsby blitzing Marty, and as they picked up the blitz on Hornsby, they left the lane open for Henry Reed. Henry Reed didn't get to Hadel until just as he released the ball and really racked him up. And the ball was thrown wildly. That time the Giants were coming, all 4 plus Hornsby blitzing. And for the second time in as many weeks and in the 4th quarter, the Giants get to the opposing team quarterback. Timeout's called on the field now. Timeout on the field. Let's take a look at some of the other scores again. Giants get to the opposing team quarterback, as we started to say. Let's continue that thought. And last week it was Gary Quazzo. Norm Snead came in to pitch a winning touchdown pass. Other scores now: Green Bay 14, Chicago nothing, Dallas 3, St. Louis 3, New England 14, Houston 13. That's in the 3rd period. 14-0 Green Bay over Chicago in the 2nd period. That Dallas St. Louis scores the 2nd period also. Miami now leading Buffalo 21-0 in the 4th period. 16-2 Pittsburgh over Cleveland in the 3rd period. Philadelphia leading Washington 7-0 in the 3rd period. Kansas City has gone ahead of the Jets 13-10. But I hear the score the other way around. Atlanta and Cincinnati 3-3 in the 2nd period. See that Kansas City Jets score. It's the Jets 13, Kansas City 10 in the 3rd period. Would that be an upset? Kansas City coming in so confident. The Jets coming off a horrendous shellacking from San Diego last week, and as we said, completely decimated by injuries. San Diego coming into Yankee Stadium, Kansas City into Shea Stadium, Kansas City an overwhelming favorite. So the Giants, thanks to that big pass rush, forcing San Diego into a kicking situation. 4th down, 10 yards to go for the Chargers at midfield. The Giants leading in the ball game, 28-17.
Dropping back in front formation is Dennis Marty. Spider Lockhart back there along with Bobby Duhan around the 15-yard line. Waiting to snap from center is Marty. Takes it, moves forward, and he boosts that ball. A twisting kick, a fair catch called at the 18-yard line by Spider Lockhart.
Very erratic wind out here today. Just when you think you have it solved going one way, it kind of whips around in the stadium. For instance, if you look at the closed end of the stadium, the flags are blowing. The flags at the closed end are blowing out, blowing toward the closed end, but the flags at the open end are blowing in the exact opposite direction. So there's quite a swirling wind going on down there. Right now, the Giants in possession with 13 minutes and 51 seconds to play. Would really like to get a running game going so they can eat up as much of a clock as possible.
It's 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line. Johnson and Evans, all the running backs. They're lined up in the I formation. Peeling off to the right side of Houston. Handoff goes to Evans, trying to swing wide around the right side. He makes the turn, picks up only 1 yard, 2 yards up to the 20-yard line.
Following a block by Rich Houston, but also following on the play, the cornerback, Bob Howard, Rick Redmond, the linebacker, too. Howard coming up very quickly to make the stop.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 20-yard line of the New York Giants. The Giants leading by a score of 28-17. They led 21-0, and then the Chargers came right back and made it 21-17. But the Giants have gone ahead as a result of an 84-yard drive. The key pass being a Fran Tarkenton, the Coleman Zeno pass. So it's 2nd and 8 at the 20-yard line. Now Zeno splits wide out to the left side. Rich Houston flank wide to the right side. The running backs, Johnson and Evans, are split. Regular pro set. Signals are being called. Tarkenton takes it. Takes the handoff, goes back to pass, sets up, throws a swing to the right side to Johnson. He's hit, ducks under the man, hit again, and down he goes at the 15-yard line for a 5-yard loss.
They're keying on Johnson. No question about that. Keying on Johnson. Ron East finally made the stop. I try to get it over the other man. I can't see it. Looks like Babbage who was keying on him. Well, it's number 66, Rick Redmond. And down on the play.
That may be Ron Johnson down on the
I think
play.
so.
He hit hard.
Yes, it is. He ducked under the tackle by East. And Babbage really leveled on him. I should say Redmond again. That's number 66.
And Johnson is being helped to his feet slowly. He was hit high and hard as he raised up after ducking out of the previous tackle. And then he was hit as he straightened up again. He's being helped to the sideline now. And replaced in there by Bobby Duhan in all likelihood. I can't see Duhan in the huddle yet. He's obscured by the rest of the Giants. We'll wait until they break the huddle. But it almost has to be Bobby Duhan. They come to the line of scrimmage, and it is Bobby Duhan in the running back slot along with Charlie Evans. Duhan and Evans the running back. 3rd and 13 at the 15-yard line. Slot formation left. Sargent takes it, goes back, sets up, throws over the middle, quickly to Barsucker. Up the field, he goes to the 30. He's got the first down.
Oh, that a big first down. That's a play that they used so successfully in the first half, and they went away from it, they being the Giants in the second half, but when yardage is really necessary, you can depend on that Sargent and Tucker over the middle. It worked so well for them. Rick Redmond making the stop on the play.
The Giants needed 13 yards. They picked up 15 and the first down. 1st and 10 at the 32 of the New York Giants. The Giants leading in the ball game 28-17. Time begins to be a factor in the ball game. 11 and a half minutes to go in it. Regular pro set once again. Duhan and Evans, the running backs. Going back to pass now is Sargent, throws out to the right side and is dropped by Bob Tucker. Tucker runs into one of his own men at the far side. That's
Wayne Walton.
Wayne Walton, yes, number 78, Walton, who was standing at the sidelines. Bob Tucker reaching out with his left hand to try to stop that pass. Just deflected it for the moment and fell incomplete, went right into Wayne Walton.
I'll tell you, Zeno's wearing himself out going downfield on virtually every play they call, whether it be a run or a pass. Holman takes a fly route downfield. He must have run about, 10 or 12, 40, 50-yard sprints so far in the game.
And now he jogs up to the line of scrimmage, splits wide out to the left side, flank out of the right side of Houston. 2nd and 10 at the 32. Back to pass to Sargent and sets up now. And he's rushed hard and thrown for a loss. Back at the 22-yard line, a 10-yard loss.
Now for the first time this afternoon, the blocking broke down. East and Andy Rice. Ron East and Andy Rice getting through, getting past the Giant blockers and smothering Tarkinen. And for the first time this afternoon, a quarterback is gotten to. Giants have not reached Johnny Hadle yet. That's the first time the Chargers have gotten to Tarkinen.
Well, actually, they did reach Hadle, but after he threw that pass the last time he threw, and then he was racked up rather severely by the New York Giants front four. And there's some question as to whether or not he'll come back into the lineup. Marty Dumrace has been warming up the near sideline.
Doesn't count, though. They didn't track him.
It's 3rd and 10 at the 22-yard line of the New York Giants. Giants must pick up the 3rd and 20, rather. 3rd and 20 at the 22-yard line. The Giants need 20 yards for the first down on this play, as Tarkinen was dropped for a 10-yard loss. They go into a slot formation right. Tarkinen takes the snap, drops straight back. Sets up now, starts throwing the ball, scrambles around back there. Still running at the 10-yard line. Now he's free for the moment, looking downfield, still looking, gets good blocking, throws down the sideline, and it is deflected, incomplete. He would have had the first down. A penalty marker was thrown down, and a penalty marker is down at the 34-yard line of the New York Giants. Ineligible receiver downfield against the New York Giants. And one of the San Diego Chargers is hurt.
Bob Hyland is pointing to him, and now he's looking at him. As a matter of fact, it's the man that Hyland blocked on that scramble. A beautiful block by Hyland. Take him out of a play, just what it looked like he might be getting to Brian Tarkinen. It might be Andy Rice, number 70. No, it's not Rice. I see Rice coming off the field. Hyland put a great block on the man who's down. That's the second time that ineligible receiver downfield call has gone against the Giants, both on scrambles. Yes, Marty?
On this occasion, however, the San Diego Chargers are refusing the penalty because it's now 4th down, 4th and 20 at the 22-yard line, and the Giants are forced to punt. Twin safety men go back there for the San Diego Chargers, Chris Fletcher and Jerry Levias. The Giants are out in front 28-17, an 11-point lead. Time is still out on the field as the San Diego Chargers have called for time, with their head player being helped to his feet now. Seems to be all right. He was shaken up severely, apparently.
Williams Tom Williams, the defensive left end.
10.5 minutes remain in this football game. The New York Giants are out in front by 11, 28-17. The Giants have led all the way by as many as 21-0 and as little as 21-17. Now they're 11 up, 28-17. Well, Tom Blanchard is in there ready to do the punting for the New York Giants. This next series will determine whether or not the San Diego Chargers can make a tight ball game of it again.
Blanchard hasn't had too much success with his putting. The wind is obviously bothering him this afternoon. He's gotten off one of just 12 yards, and that puts San Diego, of course, in position for its second touchdown, the one that tightened the game 21-17. The Giants came back, though, and went ahead 28-17. Looks like the weather is beginning to get the players down there, too. It's getting colder, and they're beginning to hop around, have to keep warm. Blanchard back to punt now, Marty.
And the problem with the wind is the gusts, actually. Even as he dumps the ball on his foot, the gusts can change it. Here he comes forward now and boosts that ball. It's a good kick. A high floater way up in the air, coming down at the 39-yard line. Fair catch called by Chris Fletcher at the 39. Fair field position for the San Diego Chargers.
Giants covered very well. They were right under the ball as it came down. Fletcher had no choice to call for the fair catch. San Diego now in possession in its own territory, between the 38 and 39-yard line, and this is the play. Marty said the series of downs that can determine the course of a ball game. Of course, there's still 10 minutes to play, and anything can happen at any time, but the normal course of events is the most important series of downs for the Chargers.
John Hadel is back in at quarterback now for the San Diego Chargers. He takes the snap, and he hands off to Mike Montgomery. Drives. No. As Montgomery back to pass, and he's smothered and thrown for a loss. Billy Parks it is, number 32. Where did he come from? Billy Parks on an end around was looking to pass on that last play.
End around, and he also had the pass option, evidently, because he's looking downfield. When he saw he couldn't run, he's hurt, too. He's getting up very slowly and staggering a little bit. When he saw he couldn't run, Chuck Dykes is coming in for him. He looked downfield to throw, and he was kind of caught. Talk about indecision. Throw or run, throw or run. By that time, the Giants were all over him. The pass receivers, incidentally, were well covered downfield. It was Dreyer who made the tackle.
Well, the play was a 5-yard loss back to the 34-yard line. Second and 15 to the 34. I completely lost track of the football on that one. Didn't see it at all until I saw Parks coming around with it and looking to throw on the end around. Back to pass now is Hadel. He throws angry to the left side and is thrown too short. Intended for Pettis Norman, the tight end. The first time he's thrown to Norman today, it was thrown too short and incomplete at the left side.
Again, good pass rush by the Giants. Picked up considerably in the last two series of downs. Again by Freddie Dreyer, and again I think Hadel threw a little sooner than he wanted to, so the ball was underthrown.
So it's 3rd and 15 at the 34-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. Big play for them right here. 3rd and long at their own 34. The New York Giants are out in front 28-17. The wind seems to be gusting more severely now. We told you earlier, gusts up to 30 miles an hour. It seems more than that now. Chuck Dykes is in, split wide out to the right side. Split backfield. 3rd and 15. Back to pass goes Hadel. Setting up now, looking to throw deep, and he does down the middle, way down, and it is incomplete. Intended deep downfield for Jeff Queen. Knocked down at the 39-yard line.
As Spider Lockharter was up in the air for the interception, and he got hit by the ball, by Queen, and by Ron Hornsby at the same time. All of them going for the ball. Spider is really, really angry that he didn't come up with the ball. He was waiting for it. Same kind of play in which he picked one off early in the ball game.
It's 4th and 15 at the 34-yard line. New York Giants are out in front 28-17. 9 minutes to go in the game. Twin safety for the New York Giants on this punt formation. Partee back on his own 20. He'll kick from about the 25. Takes the snap, moves forward, and he gets that kick away. A low twisting spiral. Lockhart back to the 20-yard line, makes the catch. Trying to run with it. Starts right, goes to the left. Tries to go outside, but he's smothered and down at about the 22-yard line.
Spider desperately looking for running room, just didn't have any. Number 30, Brian Salter, making the stop. Also in on the play, number 53, Mel Rogers. Salter, of course, a cornerback, and Rogers a reserve linebacker.
It seems as though both defenses, Giants pitch out wide to the right to Bobby Duan, running off right tackle. He drives upfield, goes for the first down, driving up to the 34-yard line. He needed 5, and he picked up 9 yards.
Flag is down, Marty. Following blocks by Bob Tucker, also by Doug Van Horn. Like it may be against the Giants.
Bobby Duan in place of Ron Johnson. We saw Ron Johnson heading into the dugout and the New York Giants locker room a moment or two ago, and we get word that Ron Johnson has a sprained left knee. He was walking into the dugout, however, and naturally the full result of that injury won't be known for another day, we should imagine, as far as Ron Johnson goes. Bobby Duan is in there, of course, and Johnson apparently has played his last football for this afternoon. Penalty is marked up against the New York Giants back to the 16-yard line, and the penalty is for holding called against the Giants.
And it's against Bob Tucker. Tucker, we didn't see it, but we know it's against Tucker because he went into a rage at one of the officials.
Ball placed down at the 16-yard line.
A bad break for the Giants. They want to get that running attack going and control as much of a clock as possible. That, of course, takes them out of reasonable field position, puts them into poor field position.
Second and 15 at the 16-yard line for the New York Giants. The Giants out in front 28-17. 8 minutes to go in the game. Brian Target and calling signals. Sends Rich Houston in motion on the right side. The handle goes to Bobby Duan. Drives off right tackle. Goes over the 20 to the 21-yard line as he picks up 5 yards more.
Eddie Rice, Rick Redmond, all in on the tackle.
It's third and 10 at the 20-yard line. And the announcement over the public address system indicates that it was Bob Tucker who committed the holding violation a moment ago, as Chip indicated. Third and 10 at the 20-yard line of the New York Giants. The Giants leading in the ball game by 7. Third and 10. Giants need this 10 yards for the first down. Slot formation right. I formation on the backfield. End around play. Carrying the ball is Zeno. Zeno cuts up field, has blockers, but he runs away from the blockers into 4 of the San Diego Chargers, and he's pulled down to the 23-yard line. A gain of only 2 yards on the play, and he might have picked up a good deal more yardage had he continued to swing wide.
Yes, he had Doug Van Horn and Willie Young on the outside blocking for him, but he decided to cut inside, which is exactly what he did last time in the end around. That was the right move last time. It was the wrong move this time. He got a lot of running room outside. Rice and Tolbert making the tackle.
Tom Blanchard back inside of his own 10-yard line at the 9, waiting for the snap from the center. Fletcher and Levias and twin safeties. The Giants leading 28-17. A high snap to center, but he gets it away anyhow. A twisting spiral way up in the air, coming down to the 36-yard line and taken there by Jerry Levias. Tough ball to judge in that gusty wind, and he had to leap back for it, Levias did, and finally pulled it down at the 36-yard line. He has signaled for a fair catch, so it's now Chargers ball, first and 10 on their 36. The Giants are leading by a score of 28-17. 6 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Still plenty of time in the game. The Giant defense has to hold.
John Hadle under the center at the pro set, drops straight back, sets up now to pass, throws down the middle, a penalty marker. It's caught by Billy Parks. Parks at midfield, drives for the New York Giants, 47. A penalty marker is down, and it probably is holding against the San Diego Chargers.
Well, Fred Dry gives a signal, and so does Konecki.
And the ball is being brought back now. The penalty to be exacted against the San Diego Chargers.
Both Dreyer and Konecki, crowd roared, took their arms, swung them in the air toward the San Diego goal line, and both are clapping their hands together now, which gives the Giants something of a lift.
Well, it's first and 25 for the Chargers on their 21-yard line. 15 yards from the spot of the previous down on that holding infraction. First and 25 at the 21. The Giants are out in front by a score of 28-17. The crowd here at Yankee Stadium begin to call defense. Triple flanker to the left side as they shift into it, do the Chargers. And now they shift back into a regular pro set. And a handoff goes to Leon Burns, I think it is, who drives off his own left guard and goes for a couple of yards.
And filling the hole beautifully with Ron Hornsby, Jim Konecki, and Fred Dreyer. Hadle trying to confuse the Giant defense by shifting into various formations.
Mike Montgomery it was, who carried the ball for a couple of yards on the last play. And that's one of the few times in the second half that Johnny Hadle has not thrown the ball. It's second and 23 at the 23-yard line. Signals being called by Johnny Hadle. Now he goes back to pass on second and long, setting up Throwing angling to the left. It's intercepted by Willie Williams at the 40-yard line. Running back to the 35. He gets 2 blocks. Goes down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line where the Giants take over.
Boy, he went high in the air in front of a receiver, made a brilliant interception, Willie did. Willie, who's now put 2 outstanding games back-to-back. He was tackled by Jeff Queen. But he was superb against the Minnesota Vikings last week, so much so that they haven't even tested him today. They've stayed away from Willie Williams' right cornerback spot, and one of the few times they did throw into that area, Willie went up and picked it off. So he and his buddy, Slider Lockhart, each have 1 interception in the ball game.
It's 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. 5 minutes and 3 seconds to go here in this ball game. The New York Giants are leading 28-17. Houston flanks wide to the right side. Coleman Zeno put about 3 yards to the left. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. Parker under the center. Takes the snap, gives out to Bobby Duhan, who drives off right tackle. It goes for a couple of yards, maybe for 3. 2 yards it is to the 26-yard line.
Lee Thomas is in at left defensive end in place of Tom Williams, hurt a short while ago. Lee Thomas making the stop as the Giants now will attempt to eat up as much of a clock as they can on the ground. And, of course, if need be, with a 28-17 lead, they'll try and go for the field goal.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 26-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. Time is running. Shows 4:22 and moving. Giants are out in front by 11, 28-17. Houston flanks wide out to the right side. Zeno splits wide left. Running backs are Bob Duhan and Charles Evans. Signal score by Fran Tarkenton. Takes the snap. Takes the handoff. A swing pass to the left side. Out in the clear is Evans. Down to the 25 to the 20-yard line and pulled down to the 19-yard line.
Charlie had a choice of trying to run out of bounds or trying to outrun Pete Barnes. He decided to try and run over Barnes. He didn't, but he set Barnes back about a yard or so, picked up not quite a first down. I guess about a yard and a half shy.
Yes, it's 3rd and 1 at the 19-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. Dick Coatside comes into the lineup, replacing Coleman Zeno. 3rd and short yardage, 3rd and 1 at the 19. The New York Giants leading the ball game 28-17, 3 minutes and 32 seconds to go in the game. And Chip Cipolla begins to make his way down to the New York Giants locker room. Get warm for both of us, Chip. 3rd and 1 at the 19-yard line. Power I formation. Diego's defense is in tight, but peeling off to the right side as Houston. The handoff goes to Duhan. He drives forward and goes for the first down. He picked up some 2.5, 3 yards as he made the first down. Bob Babbitt, the middle linebacker, stopped him, but Bobby Duhan was hurtling off his own right guard, and he made the necessary yardage. They may measure on this one, but from where we sit, it looks as though they've got it made. They're going to measure. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification.
This is WGY, Radio 81, Schenectady, New York.
Play about the rear zone. He made it easily by almost a full yard. It's 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. The New York Giants in control of the ball game now. They are leading by 11 points, 28-17. Time is a math factor. 2 minutes and 53 seconds to go in the ball game. Giants going with Charlie Evans and Bobby Duhan. Ron Johnson was hurt. And we don't know the full extent of the injury, although he did walk off the field and into the Giant locker room. And they talk about a twisted left knee. Houston flanks wide out to the right side. Coleman Zeno splits about 5 yards to the left. The running backs are Bob Duhan and Charlie Evans. Tarkenton call signals. Takes the snap. A pitch out wide to Bobby Duhan. Trying to swing wide. Keeps on the outside. Now he cuts back and drives for about 7 yards before he stops. Lee Thomas, defensive left end, stops the drive. There may be a penalty marker thrown down there. Yes, I see it now. Penalty looks as though it's against the New York Giants, and the Giants are walking back out towards midfield. And the likelihood is that it's illegal use of hands on offense. Holding, it'll be a 15-yarder if that's the case. And they're walking well out towards midfield. Here comes referee Norm Schachter. 15 yards from the spot of the foul. Brings the ball back to the 28-yard line. So it'll be 1st and about 15. No, 1st and 20 at the 28-yard line. 1st and 20 at the 28. Giants are out in front by a score of 28-17. 2 minutes and 21 seconds to go here in the game. The Giants have led throughout by as much as 21-0 and 21-3 at halftime. The Chargers closed the gap to 21-17, and the Giants got that big touchdown after a long pass to Coleman Zeno. Now they go in the slot formation on the left side, both wide receivers are left. Signals are being called by Fran Tarkinen. 1st and 20, and Tarkinen takes it. Hands off now to Bobby Doohan, sprinting for the sideline, trying to get around a linebacker, and he's pulled down by that linebacker at the 26-yard line. Bob Babbage with good speed, not allowing Bobby Doohan to race him to the sideline, pulling him down before he made the turn. Coming up on the 2-minute mark, and the official timeout will be called in just 2 seconds. And here it is now. So there's timeout on the field with the score of the New York Giants 28, the San Diego Chargers 17.
The first two arrived in 1949. One of them was spotted outside of Atlanta. The other one appeared in New Hampshire. No one knew quite what to make of them. Some people laughed at them. Others viewed them with suspicion. But no one could ignore their curious shape. By 1955, they numbered 43,000. By 1960, they had multiplied to almost 500,000. By 1970, more than 3 million inhabited America. And finally, for 1972, they spawned the most highly developed member of their species, the product of 24 painstaking years of breeding. The 1972 Volkswagen Super Beetle.
Visit your local authorized Volkswagen dealer and find out why there are over 3.5 million Beetles on the American road today.
It's 2nd and 19 at the 27-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. The New York Giants in front of the ball game by a score of 28-17. Exactly 2 minutes to go in the game. And some of the fans here at Yankee Stadium are beginning to file out. Giants in control right here. 2nd and 19 at the 27-yard line. Slot formation on the right side. Houston on the outside. And in the slot is Coleman Zeno. Signals being called by Fran Tarkinen. Takes a snap, rolls out to the right, looking to pass, looking downfield, throws back to the left side, over to Charlie Evans. He gets the ball at the 15-yard line, drives down to the 10. He's running to the 6-yard line. A play back to the weak side. The entire offense moved to the right. Rolling out to the right was Fran Tarkinen. The pass receivers rolled out to the right side as well, except Evans, who sneaked out to the left side. Fran Tarkinen rolling right, stopped, and threw diagonally back to the left side, and Evans was all alone. By the time the ball got to him, though, Bob Babbage and Jim Hill were converging. Nevertheless, the play was good right down to the 6-yard line, 21 yards, and it's 1st and goal to go on the 6. Good call by Fran Tarkinen. 1st and goal on the 6, and the clock is running. Shows a minute and 15 seconds to go in the game. New York Giants are out in front, 28-17. Slot formation on the right side. Giants are in no hurry. They go to the line of scrimmage. Tarkinen ducks in under the center. And now time is called. Whistle sound. Delay of game called against the Giants. A minute and 4 seconds to go here in the game. And delay of game is called against New York. It'll be 1st and goal to go on the 11-yard line. New York Giants have gone with the same front 5. Greg Lawson at center. Bob Highland, Doug Van Horn the guards. Willie Young and Charlie Hoffman the tackles. Bob Tucker at tight end. All the way, except when Dick Kotite came in, replacing Zeno. Then they had the 2 tight ends in there. Kotite scored one of the touchdowns today. And the backs have rotated among Charlie Evans, Ron Johnson, and Bobby Doohan. Tucker Featherston, with that slight muscle pull, has been able to rest all day because of the fine play of Charlie Evans. Slot formation right. The handoff. Rolling out to the right is Fran Tarkinen. Throws on the run to the right side to Evans at the 5-yard line. He drives forward to the 2-yard line before he's rolled out of bounds at the 2. A running pass on a rollout to the right to Charlie Evans that makes that catch, and Evans really runs to the bandit. He leaped in the air to catch that ball, though he didn't have to leap for it. It was about shoulder high, but he was so full of running and full of drive, he just leaped for the ball and kept right on driving until he was rolled out of bounds at the 1-yard line of his. It's 2nd and goal to go on the 1-yard line. The clock is stopped at 58 seconds. Pete Barnes it was who rolled him out of bounds. 2nd down coming up. 2nd and goal to go on the 1. The New York Giants out in front, 28-17. Tight power I formation for the New York Giants. The handoff goes to Evans. He pulls to the goal line and goes in. Charlie Evans goes in to score again. And the New York Giants now lead 34-17. And they put the ball game well out of reach. 55 seconds to go in the game. Hell, that Charlie Evans certainly had quite a day for himself. Played all the way on offense. A key man, blocking and ball carrying and pass catching. And the New York Giants start off the second half of the season in fine style. It may not yet be too late. Here's the point after attempt. The kick is good. So there's time out on the field with the score of the New York Giants 35, San Diego 17.
Crispin, we've had it, Bly. Quarter rations, floggings, and are you keeping all the windrift out to save lotion for yourself?
Only gentlemen of the sea can truly appreciate windrift aftershave and cologne. Oh, windrift. It's like a trade wind kissed by some undiscovered sea. Besides, a crew wearing windrift without women around, it's folly.
We'll take our chances, Bly.
Windrift aftershave and cologne. It's like splashing out a wave after you shave.
Hello, this is Kyle Rote. If you want to hear what the M people are saying about the Giants and Jets, well, then subscribe now to my Giants Jets Insiders newsletter. 32 pages all about the Giants and Jets, an abundance of features, articles, and outstanding photography, fresh and new every week. The cost is $7.95 for 26 consecutive issues, no matter when you subscribe. So mail your check or money order to me, Kyle Rote, 235 East 45th Street, New York City, 10017.
Jerry Levias runs the kickoff back to the 28-yard line where it's 1st and 10 for the San Diego Chargers. 49 seconds to go here in the ball game. The New York Giants comfortably ahead now, 35-17. Penalty marker was thrown down on the last play. I'll see what the call is going to be here by Norm Schachter. A personal foul called against New York. Personal foul. Don't know what it is, not against Newham. Marty Domrace in at quarterback now for the first time, just for a couple of plays, that's all. The Jets have beaten Kansas City 13-10. One of the big upsets of the year. Dropping straight back to pass is Marty Domrace, former Columbia star. Starts to throw, being swamped now, and thrown for a big loss back at the 30-yard line. Clock is running. Now they call time. Now they stop the clock for a moment. Jim Kinnicky and Jim Files combining to throw Marty Domrace. He raised up the throw, didn't spot the receiver, started to retreat again, and by that time, Files and Kinnicky got to him. Now the clock is put back in motion once more. The Giants are out in front 35-17. Second in huge yardage, second and about 23 yards now for San Diego. Domrace, wearing number 14, rolls out to the right to pass, setting up now, throws a short pass to the side, and is caught and hit down immediately is the receiver for the San Diego Chargers, Walker Gillette. And now San Diego calls for time to stop the clock. Play picked up about 12 yards, so it'll be third and about 12. Third and 12 at the 41-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. This time showing 22 seconds to go here in the ballgame. Otto Brown defending on the play when Gillette made that catch of a short lob pass. Brown hit Gillette a tremendous shot, knocked him down and out of bounds. New York Giants looking first-rate today. They sagged somewhat in the third quarter when at the start of the third period, a fine run back by Rocky Thompson put the ball for the Giants deep in Diego territory, but Ron Johnson had the ball stolen from him, and San Diego started to come back. Back to pass now goes Domrace again, setting up. Goes a screen pass, short pass over the middle. It's complete to Queen. He's hit but gets away. Goes up the midfield line, fumbles the ball. It's loose, rolling free. Recovered by a big pileup we can't judge yet. And the signal is San Diego. The clock is running, showing 5 seconds to go. And again, they call time to stop the clock at 5 seconds. And that's the last timeout for San Diego. 5 seconds to go in the ball game. Time for one play, and when players resume, it'll be 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line of the New York Giants. Both the Giants are winning it right now, 35-17. Tip has gone down to the New York Giants locker room, and we'll be talking to the New York Giants following the news as soon as the ball game is ended. New York Giants looking sharp throughout, except as we said during that sag in that third quarter. And able to move that ball against the San Diego defense almost all afternoon. And Fran Tarkenton having a particularly good day. Running by Charlie Evans, the blocking by the line, the entire line up front. Pass catching of rookie Coleman Zeno. will be talked and written about during the course of this week. This should be the last play of the ball game. 5 seconds to go in the game. Triple flanker on the left side. Going back to pass is Domrey. Just taking short. Starts to run. Goes to the line of scrimmage and throws deep. Deep down to the left side. Way down there. And it is intercepted by Willie Williams. He's got the ball. He wants the interception. And he's got it. And the ball game is ended. Willie Williams making the intercept on the final play of the game. He's down immediately. That's the end of the game with a score of the New York Giants 35, San Diego Chargers 17.